take the paper and open it and have the three of us just standing here reading the paper and the cover shot. Like that. All right.
Are we close enough?
Who's going to take Calhoun County?
I'll take Calhoun County.
All right.
Lucky you.
The Bluff. Yeah, lucky me every time.
All right.
That's not a good time. That's not promising. That's not promising. And I don't have my walkie-talkie with me.
This week we'll start with Silver Bluff. Then we'll talk about Calhoun County if we have time.
Okay.
Yeah, it might be.
I might use everything I got about Calhoun County in the first minute here. That's it.
It's youth night. Youth night in the Bluff.
It's youth night.
Shout out to all the youths rocking the jersey.
That leads me to believe that they might be having camera issues.
You don't have the earpiece?
No.
Oh boy.
I thought David was going to be up there.
Have what?
He doesn't have his earpiece to know what's going on.
Okay. After the intro.
The Bulldog youth cheerleaders are here.
Good evening and welcome to the pregame show for the Aiken Standard Game of the Week. Tonight we're at the Bluff, Silver Bluff High School, where the Bulldogs, too many B's involved in that, the Bulldogs play host to the Saints. Calhoun County is here live tonight. Silver Bluff started a little slow, but they played some tough teams in the early going, and they've been coming on of late.
Yeah, they certainly have, and Burton Abel told me this week that he's hoping his team can keep up the momentum that it built in last week's big region win over Allendale. So they're expecting to come out here and get some big things from Jamal Washington and company on the offensive side and limit what Calhoun County does on the defensive side, and that's a recipe for victory for them.
All right, in case you're wondering, that's Eric Russell. He's the Aiken Standard sports editor. I'm Ed Gerardo, and the coach, Ken Brace, and Coach Calhoun County. What can we expect from them?
Well, I'll tell you what, they're having a tough season, and I don't think it's going to get much better tonight. They had a real good team a couple years ago, and last year they had a good winning record. They come in tonight 1-6, 0-2 in the region, and they are undermanned. They've only got, I believe, 24 players, and maybe there's only 21 dressed tonight, something like that. I think they're going to have a tough time here tonight. They've given up a boatload of points recently, and if Silver Bluff plays the way they're capable of, I think Calhoun County's in trouble tonight.
All right, Silver Bluff has lost one region game already, so they can't afford another one. They look to get to their second wins, getting on the winning side of the region and head toward the playoffs. We'll take a break, and we'll come back and take a look at all the other games that are going on in the area, including South Aiken and North Augusta, when we return on the pregame show for the Aiken Standard Game of the Week.
Come on in to Bargain Block Furniture, where we have 2 5-piece bedroom sets starting at only $576.
Check the rest.
Buy from the best.
Financing and layaway available. Bargain Blowouts Furniture and Mattress Superstore, next to the Aiken Hospital.
Since 1970, Bragg Heating Company has been keeping Aiken and the surrounding communities comfortable. Our factory-trained staff can keep you on top of the latest in heating and cooling technology, and our complete metal shop allows us to make any specialty piece your home may need. We recommend the best systems for your home: Trane, Carrier, Mitsubishi ductless, and Bosch geothermal systems. We accept most major credit cards and offer financing, so when you need your system maintained, repaired, or replaced, call Bragg Heating Company. We're here to make you comfortable.
Tyler's Tire and Auto Center, founded in 1963, family owned and operated for 50 years and dedicated to customer service with safety of your family, our top priority. Tyler's Tire is a full-service tire retail, tire repair, and automotive repair facility with ASC certified mechanics. Located in 2 locations, 1019 Richland Avenue West and 1518 Whiskey Road. Let our family take care of yours. Tyler's Tire and Auto Center.
Come on in to Bargain Blowout Furniture, where we have sofas and love seats starting at only $396.
Check the rest.
Buy from the best.
Financing and layaway available. Bargain Blowouts Furniture and Mattress Superstore, next to the Aiken Hospital.
Welcome back to the Bluff on the campus of Silver Bluff High School. This is the pregame show of the Aiken Standard Game of the Week, and we are here for Silver Bluff in Calhoun County. Right now we're going to talk a little bit more about other games in the area. And the big game, every week there's a game where I say, I wish I was there. It goes without saying tonight. I wish I was.
Where do you wish you were at?
South Aiken is at North Augusta as they play for the region. Pretty much the winner of this takes it all.
More than likely, the winner of this will go on to win the region and get a couple of home games in the playoffs should they win. And it's going to be a tough one for each team. Obviously, the two of the best teams in the area. Obviously, North Augusta still unbeaten, and South Aiken coming in with only 1 loss. 2 great quarterbacks battling it out, and some great defensive play in recent weeks by South Aiken and North Augusta. So, should be a close game.
Yeah, we had Aiken a couple weeks ago, South Aiken with Aiken a couple weeks ago. They scored 50-something points. You were in Oregon, so you weren't there. But last week we were together. North Augusta scored 47 points. These are 2 really good football teams.
They are fine football teams, and I'll tell you what, it should be a great game over there tonight. It's a toss-up. Either team could win, obviously. South Aiken won 30-20 last year in a matchup, same kind of matchup as we have tonight. I love it tonight. We've got, I think, the 2 best quarterbacks in the county. We've got Cody from over in South Aiken and Landon Washington from North Augusta. They're terrific. Roberts for South Aiken and Gibson for North Augusta. I'm concerned about Gibson a little bit. We saw him last week get beat up just a little bit. If it was just a stinger and they got it padded up, that's fine. But if he can't go full speed, that's going to hurt North Augusta. And then Kitchens is a terrific player, and he's got his counterpart on the other side in Dewan. So, what are you going to say? Great athletes, great coaches, good football teams. I mean, it should be fun over there.
Is Gibson going tonight?
Well, all we could get out of Coach was that he's getting better each day. So, and that was yesterday. So.
That was yesterday. And today's today. You better be better.
Today they'll make the decision. All right, Airport is at Aiken. Now, we saw Airport last week. They were a little less than impressive against North Augusta, but can Aiken win their first game of the year?
Well, I'll tell you what, they've had a rough year over at Aiken, no question about that. Airport, as you say, was not very impressive last week, I should say, but they were overmatched. They were playing a very, very good team. They're more down to their level tonight, and it's going to be tough for Aiken to come away with the win. The one thing that I thought was kind of curious, before the game last week, the coaches from Airport were telling me they had a couple different quarterbacks. We saw Justin Allen start the ball game, and he's a good athlete. When he wasn't playing quarterback last week, they moved him to receiver. When they brought that left-handed quarterback in at the end of the game and he was throwing the ball better than they had all night, I said, that could be coming down the road here. So I kind of think Airport has a little bit of an advantage tonight. But, of course, being a little bit of a homer, we want Aiken to win the ball game. But I think Airport probably wins a close one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game for each team. Obviously, Aiken's coming off a bit of a disappointing loss there to Midland Valley. One that a lot was on the line then and kind of came out and got blown out a little bit there. But they're looking to bounce back this week. Once again, Key will be trying to get something out of the run game again this week, get back on track after started out a little bit well for a little while. And then after the South Aiken game, it's kind of been slowing down there. So they'll try to get that back going. And it will be interesting to see if they could slow the quarterbacks if they give the 2 quarterback look or just go with 1. So I think it'll be a close game, but I also think Airport will probably come away with the victory.
Okay, I noticed all the pick'ems in the paper. Everybody picked Airport. I'm picking Aiken. Aiken at Haygood Stadium at home. Go Green Hornets. Go get them. All right. There, that should inspire them greatly. Midland Valley's at AC Florida. Now, you picked Midland Valley.
I did pick Midland Valley. I think they're starting to get things going down there. Coach has been pretty confident after last week's victory. That was a huge victory over a county rival. So I think they have a lot of momentum going into this game. And AC Florida's had a bit of a down season. And I think Midland Valley's been able to find something with that offense. And they got the run game going last week against Aiken. We'll see tonight how much of that was the Aiken defense or Midland Valley figuring something out.
All right, this is the odd week out for Midland Valley. This isn't a region game, but it's still a game they can win.
It is a game they can win. This is an unusual game. It's an unusual game because one team comes in with only one win. AC Florida comes in. They haven't won a ball game this year. So we got a 1-6 team and an 0-7 team. Last year, they were down also, and they had one of the highest scoring games I've ever seen in this area. Flora beat Midland Valley last year 61-47, and neither team had been putting points on the board. Last week, Midland Valley did come alive a little bit. The only thing that scares me about this game tonight is that the AC Flora quarterback, a young man by the name of Heatley, I believe, has over 1,000 yards passing already, and he's thrown for 5 touchdowns. That scares me just a little, but I think even though they're on the road, Midland Valley pulls one out and gets their second win.
All right, there we go. Sure, Midland Valley's going to win. Okay. Now, here's a team that's pretty surprising, not for good things, for really not playing that well. Strom Thurmond is going to Gilbert tonight.
And Strom Thurmond, I know, as much as I admire Antoine Hillary and the job he's done there, he's got to be disappointed in their performance so far this year. He's got a couple key players that are going to the Shrine Bowl. He's got some good athletes, but they just haven't quite been as consistent or as, consistently good on either offense or defense as they have been in the past. And unfortunately, after coming off a pretty surprising loss last week, they've got to play a good football team tonight in Gilbert. And Coach Liepert from Gilbert took over a couple years ago after they had been really down as a football team. Won a lot of games last year, and he got them coming into this ball game at 7-0. I think Gilbert will win this football game. I hate to say that, but I believe they will.
I listened to the game last week on the way home on the radio, the KSX broadcast, Strom Thurmond. It was an unbelievable loss, how they lost. They ended up kicking the point to go into overtime. They called a roughing penalty on Strom Thurmond. Strom Thurmond ended up who did they play last week? Swansea got a do-over, went for 2 and won the game by 1 point. I think that's pretty tough to come back from that.
That's a tough one, obviously, mental-wise and kind of getting back on track. Obviously, Strom's been out there, the quarterback in recent weeks, which has contributed to some of the issues. But also they have given up quite a few points that they weren't giving up early in the season. So that's also been part of the issue. Tall challenge tonight to try to slow Gilbert, and I think it's going to be another tough one for them.
Yeah, I agree. After that game, that's a tough one to come kicking back from because they had the game won and ended up, like I said, losing that thing on that extra point conversion. And it's interesting, the Pick'ems are split on this tonight, but I tend to agree, Gilbert. All right, Barnwell's at Allendale Fairfax.
And Barnwell had an impressive comeback last week, actually. Got down big to Batesburg and came back and eventually won the game. Obviously, Barnwell will be looking to not give up that many points. They gave up more points than they had all season in that game. So I think they'll return to their defensive ways this week against an Allendale team that's been struggling this year.
Did I say I told you so? Told you Batesburg was tough. What a game that was. That was another one. Wish we were there. Allendale, not quite the same.
No, they're not. We've got a 7-0 Barnwell team coming in. They've been very impressive all year long, and that win that they had last week, when we heard the first score, it was something like 30-14 for Batesburg, and then all of a sudden it's 34 or 35, something like that, where Barnwell comes back to win. They are playing against a team tonight that should be completely overmatched. Barnwell's tough offensively and defensively. Dwayne Garrick, one of the best coaches in the area, and I think Barnwell wins easily tonight.
Go War Horses. All right, now North at Williston Elko, are they really playing?
As far as I've heard, they are.
Okay, last week North forfeited to Wagner Sally, but they're going to play Williston Elko.
They're going to play Williston Elko, and they're overmatched also. This is another one that I think it would be a huge upset if North win. They have the longest losing streak in the area, I believe, or one of the longest in the state of South Carolina going on right now. They haven't won a game again this year. They're playing against a Williston team that is very, very good in their division. Homecoming, excitement, and I think North is in trouble.
Yeah, pretty much what he said.
Yeah, go Blue Devils. All right, Rich Spring Minetta at Wagner Sally. We had Rich Spring Minetta at Williston. I was pretty impressed with Rich Spring. They lost the game, but they're tough on defense.
Yeah, they are. So I think this will be another good one. It kind of will be a battle of the defenses. I think in this one, obviously, both got good defenses. Wagner South is going to try to get some more out of their running backs this week to kind of counter what Rich Spring can do passing the ball. They've opened it up a little bit more this year and throw several offensive looks. So I think it'll be a close game, but I'm going with Wagner in this one.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad to see a team like Ridge Spring balanced with a balanced attack now. They used to run the ball consistently. Now they've got a quarterback that's throwing it a little bit more in Bettis, and I think it's going to be a good football game also. I think Wagner Sally is at a little bit of a disadvantage because they couldn't play last week. And sometimes, a week off is good for you, but they were looking forward to playing from what Eric told me, and I think it's going to be a little bit unusual for them tonight. I think it's a toss-up game, but I think Wagner Sally will come out on top. They've got some athletes, and they believe in themselves this year. I think they'll win this game.
In the Pick'ems, they're split on this one, too. Yeah, y'all mixed it up this week.
We did, just change everything up.
Last week, 50 picks, and only one was different from the rest of them. And I think she won, too, didn't she? Did she get that right?
Kathy did have the best week by way of picking
that one game. Millie Malley to win. That's right. So, way to go. Good on you, Kathy. All right. That's going to do it for the picks and looks around there. I said I'd like to be at Aiken, South Aiken in North Augusta, but we are happy to be right here at Silver Bluff. This is a great place to come. Lots of tradition, and we are happy to be here at the Bluff on the campus of Silver Bluff High School. We'll take a break and come back and talk a little bit about tonight's game with Calhoun County when we return on the pregame of the game of the week.
Whether you volunteer your time, make a donation, or both, giving back to our community is what makes Aiken so strong. It's the spirit of a great city. Each year, Aiken Regional employees donate thousands of man-hours and dollars to local charities and nonprofits, and the hospital sets aside $100,000 as well. We're committed to giving back and paying it forward.
There's nothing more painful than seeing a family member who has lost someone they love. It could be from a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, even a drunk driver. We can't bring back your loved one, but the Chandler Law Firm can help your family get the support you deserve. If your loved one dies because of someone else's negligence, it's called wrongful death. No one can put a price on someone's life, but we can help protect the family's future.
For a legal consultation, contact thechandlerlawfirm.com.
Here at Bargain Blount's Furniture, we have queen mattress sets starting at only $199.
Check the rest. Buy from the best.
Financing and layaway available. Bargain Blowout's Furniture and Mattress Superstore, next to the Aiken Hospital.
In Aiken, we are football. Outstanding in the field, in the booth, in the newspaper, on the web, on the app, mobile, social, and very, very local. Aiken Standard is Football Friday.
At Lionel Smith Limited, we can help you look your best no matter what the season. For fall and winter of 2017, we have the area's best collection of suits and sports jackets, a huge selection of those famous hand-picked Smitty ties, unique sportswear, outerwear, sweaters, made-to-measure shirts, suits and coats, socks, underwear, and lots more. New merchandise is arriving daily, so to see all the latest in men's fashions, see us at Lionel Smith Limited. Lionel Smith, limited to only the finest in men's clothing.
Welcome back. Pre-game show. The Aiken Standard Game of the Week. We're at the Bluff, Silver Bluff High School, where they were state champions in 1986, 1990, 91, 2000, and 2001.
Yes.
How's that for a memory? I know that the 90 and 91 was Dwayne Bates and Corey Chavis. 2000-2001, that's the Troy Williamson era. Those are some pretty good football players.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, part of high school football is the tradition of looking back, and that's important. And Silver Bluff, very proud. What a tradition they have here.
They really do have a great tradition. It's a community school, and we look around here tonight, and I see a lot of Little League guys with their jerseys on. Future Silver Bluff players. We've got the cheerleaders here that are about 8 years old or less, with the others. The band is getting ready to play. The people here support this football team very, very well, and they have a winning tradition. And there's good news tonight, and that is Silver Bluff, who had a down year last year at 3-7, and they weren't happy about that, I can tell you. All right, now it looks like they're coming up a little bit. They're moving in the right direction. New coach, Burton Abel, and I think he's got the kids starting to understand what he wants them to do coming along as a football team.
Yeah, it's a great program.
It is, and I think they'll continue those winning ways tonight. And this game, obviously, Abel spoke about trying to get some momentum. So, and if they get going, obviously they'll move to 5 wins, I believe, on the season, and obviously a marked improvement on last year, as you were saying. So they're going in the right direction this season.
Who are some of the players that we can look for at Silver Bluff?
Obviously, well, generally we would say look out for Cedric Trotty, but we've seen him walking around out of uniform
without his pads
so,
on. Not a good sign.
I don't believe we'll be looking for him, but Jamal Washington is starting to get back in the rhythm at quarterback, obviously. Jimmy Foreman is also now out for Silver Bluff. However, interestingly enough, Burton Abel said that's kind of helped the offense a little bit because they kind of got away from the read option a little bit and took away Jamal Washington's reads, but now they've had to go back to that without being able to lean on Foreman. But obviously Raekwon Mann has speed, and they still have several guys on that defense, and John Green at cornerback that can get the job done. So I think they still have plenty of talent out there on the field.
Anybody you looking for?
I'll tell you what, I agree with Eric on that, and I think Jamal Washington's the key to this ball game tonight offensively. He had a great game last week with 3 touchdowns, 3 scores. That's got to happen tonight. Trotty is a disappointment for me. I was really looking forward to seeing him play tonight in this ball game. He has 70 tackles on the year so far, one of the leading tackles in the area, and I was hoping to see him at the beginning of the year. It was stated that he was going to be a big force both offensively and defensively. I think they've relied on him more on defense than they have on offense by a long measure, but I'm sad that we're not going to get to see him. We're going to hear the national anthem, I believe. So.
Yeah, they're getting ready to play the national anthem. That means we're not far from kickoff. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get ready for the kickoff from the Aiken Standard Game of the Week. We'll be right back.
Here at Just Julie's, we aren't your typical sub shop. All of our meats and cheeses are cut fresh, and we have a wider variety of menu items. We're happy to create new items to suit your many desires, which means custom orders that you won't find anywhere else. We've been a part of the Aiken community for over 35 years, so come and see us for lunch or dinner. You won't be disappointed. Our sandwiches, salads, and customer service can't be beat. Just Julie's, Pine Log Road in the Staples Shopping Center across from Kroger.
Here at Bargain Blowouts, we have 5-piece dinettes starting at only $199.
Check the rest. Buy from the best.
Financing and layaway available. Bargain Blowouts Furniture and Mattress Superstore, next to the Aiken Hospital.
youth players coming onto the field. Our little Bulldog. Channel 12. Aiken Standards here. It's youth night. And it's region action.
Along with the coach, Ken Brace. Eric Russell is down on the sidelines, the sideline reporter. He'll check in with us later in the game. And we're ready for another good game.
I'll tell you what, we got the captains out at the field right now. And for Calhoun County, we got Sterling Evans, Devontae Griddle, number 66, William Robinson, and number 76, Stefan Pinkney. Those are the Saint captains. And for Silver Bluff, Eric Langford, number 11, Raquan Mann, number 22, and number 55, Shakorian Corbett.
All right, the captains have met. They'll now go meet their teams. Calhoun County, which is from Calhoun County.
Calhoun County, St. Matthews.
St. Matthews. And they, not a very big team. They count about 20 on their roster. They may have one or two more. I think they added a player or two for us. But at any rate, another small team. We've seen a couple of small teams this year. Aiken, I think, only had 22, Coach, on their roster.
Is that right?
At least at that South Aiken game. Very, very small roster. So it's a little bit of a disadvantage in terms of having extra players.
That's for sure.
But still, sometimes those teams with fewer players, it's like the 300. They pick the ones that are ready to fight and get it on. So we'll see here shortly as we wait for the two teams to come out. Silver Bluff still hasn't shown up on the track. They got a beautiful new track here at Silver Bluff High School, and it is blue, just like their uniforms.
And we're going to have a good crowd here tonight for Silver Bluff. Don't think there's going to be too many people from Calhoun County come down here tonight.
Yeah, the Calhoun County people missed the memo, apparently. Let's count their folks in the stands. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 made it down. They're having a rough year, and I'm sure the boys would like to prove themselves worth the trip tonight and see if they can challenge Silver Bluff.
And they've been struggling lately. The last 2 ball games, they've been hammered pretty good by a couple of the better teams in this region. And they need to bounce back tonight. They have a bit of a tough chore, I think, here. Over the years, Silver Bluff has been very tough to beat here at the Bluff. And I think they're going to give Calhoun County a tough way to go tonight. We got lots of cheerleaders out there. Some high school cheerleaders and some probably in elementary school, it looks like.
Yeah, they got some peewees. I think they got some little Bulldog football players down here at the end as well. And that's pretty exciting for them to get to come out and be part of the festivities. I can remember playing peewee football and how big it was to come up to junior high and high school and run through the tunnel. And here come the Bulldogs of Silver Bluff High School. Again, as we talked about in the pregame show, the tradition of Silver Bluff through the years, it's nice to see them on the winning side of things again. After last year not particularly having the best season ever.
And I believe if they win this game tonight, that'll set them up pretty well for the playoffs. Okay, they've got a couple of tough games coming down the road. They've got Batesburg and also Barnwell to play yet in the season, and both those teams are tough. So this will be a good test to see whether or not they're going to be ready to play for them.
They lost to Bamberg in their first region game, and you're right, Barnwell and Batesburg, sort of the cream of the crop in this region as the year goes on. Batesburg beat Barnwell by 3 points last week, and Barnwell undefeated in action so far this year. That's Batesburg's one loss. So Silver Bluff will have their work cut out for them. This is a game that's a must-win. Silver Bluff will kick off. Calhoun County has number 2 deep, and as we all come to expect, there is no number 2 on our roster. But number 1 is also back there. Willie Brown, a wide receiver cornerback, is on the far side.
And San Quentin McFarland is going to kick off for the Bulldogs.
That's a good name.
It is a good name. Like their uniforms, too. Okay, if you've not seen these uniforms before, neat gray, white outline on the blue numbers, silver helmets, look sharp.
All right, kicks away, going to bounce. And number 2 has it. 2 makes a man miss now, hit hard, about the 25-yard line. I think they'll mark him short of the 25 at the 23, and that's where they will put it in play. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10 for Calhoun County.
And that was a short kick, pretty good coverage. We expect to see Silver Bluff in their 3-5 alignment, 3 down linemen, 5 linebackers.
Sterling Evans, the quarterback for Calhoun County. He lines up in the shotgun. Got a compacted front in front of him. They go straight forward off tackle looking for a hole. I think they picked up a couple of yards to the 25. 2nd down and 8.
And Silver Bluff likes to attack on defense. They move a lot. Okay, over the years, they haven't necessarily been the biggest team, but they are really aggressive on defense. Good fundamentals. They tackle well, and they have some speed. They get to the football.
Ethan Tullock at running back, and here he comes. He's going to try to get to the edge and get outside. He stops, makes a man miss, and he'll be close. Well, he'll be a couple yards short of the 1st down as he gets up to the 31-yard line. They need to make at least the 33.
And there was a nice hole on the left side of that offensive line. Good run by Tullock.
So 3rd down, looks like it's about 1.5 yards. That's an interesting formation, more like a pistol formation And there's a mix-up in the backfield. And the quarterback, Evans, gets knocked down and loses yardage. And it looks like he expected the running back to go right, and running back went left.
Yeah, there was obviously some confusion in the backfield that time. And on 3rd and short, they had a chance to keep moving the ball, but that kind of cost them.
Deep to receive for Silver Bluff, number 22, Raycon Mann.
One of the captains for Silver Bluff tonight. Got some speed, one of their talented, skilled people.
Gets the punt away, and that's a short rolling kick that Silver Bluff got over there around the ball. Need to get away from it, but they're going to have great field position as they'll start in St. territory at about the 47-yard line. Chandler Law Firm, 1st and 10.
And you know, when you have a small school, and Calhoun County is a small school, sometimes it's difficult to find a good kicking game. Punter, snapper, kickoff man, and watched them pregame, and they did seem to struggle with that just a little bit in that first punt. Not very good, about a 12-yard punt. That's not going to cut it.
Washington at quarterback, hands off. Picks his way through the line, gets down close to the 40, going to be about the 41-yard line. Let's pick up 7 yards.
And that was a pretty nice run. And that was San Quentin McFarland, who kicked off to start the ball game. And he's limping just a little bit. He must have got his ankle twisted or something. Doesn't seem to be too bad, but he comes off for a second.
They marked him back to the 42. Pick up a 5. 2nd down, 5. On the read option, Washington keeps, gets up close to the 1st down. I believe he's got it.
And
Go ahead.
Yeah, Washington made the right read there. You can see that the defensive end comes in and tackles the running back. Washington pulls the ball, makes a nice gain, 1st down.
Bulldogs on the move.
Chandler Law Firm, 1st and 10 at the 37. And another keeper. Washington gets outside. He's in the clear. He's down to the 10, 5. Touchdown, Silver Bluff. And that was pretty quick.
And I'll tell you what, that was the good read. The runs that tend to break are those times when the running back is able to cut back across the flow, and he did that. Once again, the read option. Quarterback kept the ball off to the right side, cut back to the left, and he went into the end zone from, what was that, about 40 yards, completely untouched.
We'll call it 42 yards.
Okay.
No, 36 yards.
36 yards,
36 yards on the run. They line up to go for 2. Up, and they have movement. Now it's going to be a 5-yard walk-off. We'll see if they rethink this or stay with it. They keep the offense on the field, so they'll take the 5-yard penalty and now make it a little bit tougher. So that backs it up to the 8-yard line. The Silver Bluff leads 6-0 here in the early going. 8:54 left to go in the first quarter as they attempt the 2-point conversion. 2 split wide to the right, 1 to the left. Looks to throw a little jump ball in the end zone. No flag?
Yes, there is a flag.
Oh, flag came from that back judge. I was looking at the guy standing right next to him.
Yeah.
He thought it was okay.
I think that's a good call. I think the receiver was pretty much mugged that time in the end zone.
Actually, I don't think the ball was anywhere close to the receiver, but the defender went ahead and tackled him.
Took a little bit of a break there.
Pass interference on the Saints.
So they'll put it on to 3 where they were starting anyway, and they'll go for 2 points again. After the 5-yard walk-off for procedure, they get that back. Still going for 2. They got wide receiver split right and left. stacked to the left at the line. Hit hard, bounces off, fighting toward that end zone. He's going to be into the end zone. Little delayed call, but 2-point conversion is good. So 8-0.
And that is Quentin McFarland again. I believe saying Quentin McFarland, yes, with the 2-point conversion.
0.
So Silver Bluff gets on the board first on a 36-yard keeper by the quarterback Washington, and they get a 2-point conversion, make it 8-0 here with 8:54 left to go in the first quarter.
And the last couple of games, as we said during the pregame, Calhoun County has given up a ton of points, and that first drive is any indication they could be in for a long night again on defense. Washington did an excellent job, ran the zone read very, very well. Last week he had 3 touchdowns. He's got 1 already in just a few minutes off the clock.
All right, the return going to be pretty good for Calhoun County. It'll get up to the 35-yard line where they'll put it in play. Chandler Law Firm, 1st and 10, number 2 on the return, again, not on the roster.
And one of the tacklers for Silver Bluff was number 7, Jarvis Brown. Pretty good coverage again. Another not real long kick, so they got pretty decent field position to start on the 35, as you said.
Evans will try his second time with possession. He keeps. Gets hit as he gets into the middle section of the defense and brought down after a couple-yard gain.
Got to bring up 2nd down for the Saints.
Jamie Bing helped leads the tackle that time.
Pick up a 3-yard, 2nd down and 7. Calhoun County on their opening possession went 3 and out. Had a couple of good plays, had 3rd and short, and then had a mix-up in the backfield. See if they can do any better on this. Now outside, makes a man miss, gets upfield. Going to be stopped short of the 1st down as he crosses the 40. Does Evans. Looks like they'll give him the 41.
Evans with the carry. Jamie Bing with a stop.
Jamie Bing in on the stop that time, and one of the things we'll be looking at tonight, Cedric Trotty, the leading tackler for the Silver Bluff Bulldogs, is in street clothes tonight on the sideline.
Well, he has his jersey.
Well, he's got his jersey, yeah, that's true. Well, that's street clothes for a football player.
All right, 3rd down, 3. Oh, hit hard as he tried to cut back and lost a yard. And it'll be 4th down again.
And that is another 3rd down stop, just like the first drive they had.
And they're going to say he actually picked up a yard, so it'll be 4th down. 4th down and 2.
And, you know, I'm thinking, even though it's very early, they may go for this. Especially if their punting game is a little suspect. No, here comes a punter. Okay.
The punting unit comes on. Willie Powell goes deep to receive on the far side. The man here on the short side. Almost got it blocked, and there comes the flag. This will give them the 1st down. As we get away from the ball. As the punt rolls down inside the 30-yard line. Not a bad punt, but we're going to have a roughing the punter, 15-yard personal foul. That'll be 15 yards, and they will take the ball into Bulldog territory in Calhoun County. We'll get a reprieve. Chandler Law Firm, 1st and 10.
And I'll tell you, there were 2 Bulldogs in on that punter immediately. Okay, and I don't know how they didn't touch the football. And I mean, there was no question about that penalty.
Somehow or another, he punted it I think they went past it, past his leg and the ball.
Yeah.
And were hitting him as he punted it underneath him.
They'd have been fine if they had hit the football. That was weird.
So the walk-off is to the 42-yard line of Silver Bluff. And Calhoun County gets their first break of the game. They trail 8-0. 6:52 left to go in the first quarter.
One of the things you coach on those punts is to take an angle in front of the kicker. Obviously, the young man got right into the kicker. You want to give yourself a little space in front of him.
Play was blown dead before it got started, and they're going to call offsides against Calhoun County. So Calhoun County lined up offsides. And that's going to make it a little tougher. First down and 15. Ball comes back to the 46-yard line. Now number 2 joins Evans in the backfield. May have to send coach out to figure out who number 2 is. He's standing out there with the ball by himself, but we've got another flag before we got started, and there's a procedure penalty this time against Calhoun County. So they're going the wrong way. They're going to take it back after penalties
Timeout, Saints.
into Silver Bluff territory. We got a Bragg Heating Company timeout on the field. We'll take a break with them. You're watching the Aiken Standard Game of the Week.
Don't forget that you can pick up all your Silver Bluff Bulldog merchandise.
Since 1970, Bragg Heating Company has been keeping Aiken and the surrounding communities comfortable. Our factory-trained staff can keep you on top of the latest in heating and cooling technology, and our complete metal shop allows us to make any specialty piece your home may need. We recommend the best systems for your home: Trane, Carrier, Mitsubishi ductless, and Bosch geothermal systems. We accept most major credit cards and offer financing, so when you need your system maintained, repaired, or replaced, call Bragg Heating Company. We're here to make you comfortable.
6:21 left to go in the first quarter. Calhoun County takes their first time out of the game. They trail 8-0.
And they needed a timeout. A little confused. This has been a strange minute and a half or so here on their offensive drive.
Lined up offsides, then had a procedure penalty. They've now looking at 1st and 20. Evans keeps, gets upfield, gets a couple of yards. So 2nd down and 18 coming.
Short gain up the middle by the Saints. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And this could add to the confusion. I think he's got to leave the game for one play because his helmet came off.
Whew. What could go wrong that hasn't gone wrong? I'm not sure who the backup will be. It looks like number 2. Number 2 is going to play quarterback. So the mysterious agent number 2 takes the snap he's going to keep. You could have predicted that. And whoa, he's hit hard.
Tell you what, he's a hard runner, though.
He ran very hard. He picked up 6 yards. He's back to the original line of scrimmage. Might be a yard short of that. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 11.
That's a very nice run.
Evans returns after getting his helmet strapped back on. And they face 3rd and long. But I do believe this is 4-down territory for Calhoun. So let's see what they do. It's going to keep coming to his left, turn inside, get across the 40 to the 38. So he's still well short of a 1st down. They need to make the 31 to get a 1st down.
Bring up 4th down for the Saints.
So it's 4th down and 8.
And I believe you're right. This time they're going to run another play, not punt.
Big play for Calhoun County. And they picked up 1 1st down by roughing the punter to get into Silver Bluff territory. They're going to throw it and got it out to big number 80, Trevon Gardner, but he could not hang on And I'm not sure he had the first down anyway.
He'd had to stay on his feet to make the first down. He was open, and maybe if the ball had been thrown just a little higher, he'd have been able to stay on his feet and catch the thing. Doesn't make any difference at this point. Ball turned over to the Bulldogs.
So Silver Bluff takes over on downs. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. And they scored on their opening possession. They'll try to do that again here in the second. Washington took it 36 yards on a keeper. Let's see what he's got up his sleeves this time. Directs everybody to get into place. Hands off, heading around that left side, find some room. Across the 50 into Saint territory. And our favorite player, San Quentin McFarland.
And there was some confusion in the Calhoun defensive set that time. One of their linebackers originally lined up on the right, moved to the left, and then there was some motion away from him. He stayed where he was and left a big hole on the left side.
McFarland again, this time stopped after he picks up a couple of yards. From the 49 to the 47, give him 2, 2nd down and 8 coming up.
2nd down for the Bulldog.
It's interesting, last week at North Augusta with the turf field and the hash marks so easily seen. Hard to see them here, which is not unusual on most fields. North Augusta is the exception. All right, Bulldogs heading downfield, moving north and south. Down to the 30-yard line, Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10.
And the ball carrier that time was Teeter Wooten, number 32.
He comes back again. Same thing, same results. May go in, gets over the 10 to the 7-8 yard line. And Silver Bluff running it well.
First down.
See if they do it again until they stop them. And they go back to the well, and this one's going into the end zone. Touchdown, Silver Bluff. And that was pretty impressive.
Very impressive, and good runs, and the offensive linemen have done a nice job up front, I can tell you that. Good blocking. Let's give them a shout out. Offensive line starting for Silver Bluff tonight. Hunter Lamar at the left tackle, Isaiah Green at the left guard, J.B. Holmes at center, Dylan Canaday at the right guard, and Brandon Jones at the right tackle, and they are opening some holes.
All right, the celebration was short-lived as it was a penalty for holding against Silver Bluff. Or was it? I don't know, I guess it was. It's 1st and goal, that's right. So they brought it back to the 15-yard line. And it's still Chandler Law Firm 1st and goal. And Washington breaks a couple of tackles, but he's going to be pulled down from behind. I think he'll lose a yard out to the 12. So 2nd down.
And that's the first time he's been stopped tonight.
2nd down and 12. 2nd and goal. Bring McFarland back in.
2nd down, Bulldog.
Jimmy Bing steps into the backfield as well. And whistles. And let's see what the call is. Flag before the play started. Procedure against Silver Bluff. So Silver Bluff now going the wrong way, a little bit different than what we saw earlier with Calhoun County. They were out at midfield going backwards. This at least is within scoring range, but it's still 2nd down and goal. Now it's from the 17-yard line.
And too many flags for both teams right now. Got to clean it up just a little bit.
Pistol formation. Takes handoff McFarland. McFarland moves in past the 15 to the 14. Third down and goal from the 14. Again, Silver Bluff was running at will up the middle. Then got a holding call, brought it back, and struggling a little bit here.
The penalties hurt. Disrupts your concentration, your momentum. They took it into the end zone once.
And give Calhoun County credit. And here comes Washington. He's going to pass. Gets it out in the flat. Going to cross the 10 to the 9. So fourth down and goal at the 9 coming up. And Silver Bluff, since they've been going for 2 from this distance, you would imagine they're going to go for the touchdown.
And that was a nice defensive play by one of the Saints, number 3. Okay, came from his inside linebacker position, went right down the line and was able to run down that receiver. Looked like he was going to gain a lot more yardage. Good pursuit, good hustle.
No play clock here to keep up with the plays. But Silver Bluff taking their time, and I believe that's going to be a delay of the game. Well, now they called a timeout. The flag was thrown in the end zone. He's picking up his flag. I believe that the referee called the timeout before the flag was thrown, so they'll pick the flag up, and they'll talk about it with 19.2 seconds left to go here in the first quarter.
Impressive drive that Silver Bluff had early, and they've been moving the football here too. Disrupted by the penalties, and let's see what kind of goal line play they have from the 9-yard line. They don't want to come away with nothing.
They'd been perfect until they got the holding play on the touchdown run that brought a touchdown back. And now they've gotten a procedure penalty and almost got a delay of the game. Used the first time out here in the first half. And they've gotten together and they've got a play called for this 4th and 9, 4th and goal. Calhoun County hoping to hold them here and get to the second quarter. And I believe that Calhoun County is going to call a timeout and talk about it from their perspective. So some interesting gamesmanship going on here. Again, 19.2 seconds left to go. We'll keep it here. And
timeout, Calhoun County.
It's a Bragg Heating Company timeout on the field. And kind of interesting that Silver Bluff had to call a timeout, and then out of the timeout, Calhoun County calls a timeout. But that's, I suppose, a good thing if you're not really set. You know, you're still in this ball game, and this is a big play for Calhoun County.
Yeah, it really is. Like I say, they've given up a ton of points the last couple of weeks, and they don't want to let the Avalanche start here tonight with Silver Bluff. If they can hold them here, that's going to be a good moral victory for them. They haven't been able to do too much on offense yet, but maybe that'll give them a little spark.
All right, shut down.
All right, they've talked it over. Ready to go, both teams. Each one with a timeout. They've talked it over. 3 split wide to the right. Washington runs in that direction. Now stops, comes back upfield. He's going to be stopped short about the 8-yard line, and Calhoun County comes up big, stops Silver Bluff, and they're going to go to the second quarter. Unless something drastic happens in this last 11 seconds, trailing only 8-0.
And I believe that was a design quarterback run. Didn't look like he was really looking to throw the football at all, and trying to cut back, and it really wasn't much there. Well defended by Calhoun.
He ran toward the 3 receivers that he had split to the right side. You would think he'd have an option there, but he certainly didn't look like he was thinking about an option. Turned it inside, tried to find a gap, and Calhoun County was able to contain. So Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10 for Calhoun County. They'll run one play and see what else they can get. Turns inside, does Evans. Evans gets up to the 9, and the clock will run out. So 1 quarter is in the books, and Calhoun County, I'm sure, is happy to only be trailing 8-0.
I think they probably are reasonably satisfied, and maybe just a little frustration by the Bulldogs. They should have had their second touchdown.
All right, that's our score at the end of 1 quarter. 8-0. Silver Bluff leads on the Aiken Standard game of the week. Silver Bluff and Calhoun County. We'll be back.
What's the foundation for a great community? I'd say it's being there for your neighbors during the best of times and the worst of times. We have a hospital that does just that. Aiken Regional Medical Centers provides over $72 million a year in uncompensated care for those in need. I call that neighbors caring for neighbors.
Were you hurt on the job? Are you trying to keep your work comp payments? Do you feel like no one is listening? Your employer, the company doctor, the insurance company? Well, we're listening. Our workers' compensation team has helped hundreds of injured South Carolinians. Call us now and let us listen to you. For a free consultation, call 803-644-5335 or visit thechandlerlawfirm.com.
You can count on Chandler.
Quarter number 2 as we start here on the campus of Silver Bluff High School. Silver Bluff leads 8-0. Calhoun County with the ball, tries to get outside, get around the edge, fights hard, but knocked out of bounds after a short gain. So 3rd down.
Nice stick that time by Donovan Bush, number 6. Inside linebacker made a nice tackle. Ball did come loose, but ruled down.
Picked up about 4 yards. 3rd down and 6 coming up. Did make out of bounds, so they stopped the clock. Both of these teams primarily rushing the football, so we should have a pretty quick game tonight. Settle down on the penalties. It looks like he's going to throw. He's faking throwing the ball. Comes out on a fumble, but Calhoun County able to dive on it and pick up the fumble, so they retain possession. Devontae Griddle came up and recovered that. So
and
brings up 4th down.
Very fortunate, too. That would have been disastrous to give them the ball deep in the red zone.
Evans trying to get people off their feet. Silver Bluff's defense did a good job of not doing that and containing the quarterback.
And barring a miscue, Silver Bluff is going to have great field position to start their drive.
Short kick, real short kick. And now the officials blow that dead. Silver Bluff, one of the Silver Bluff players actually caught it, and I don't know why they would blow it dead.
Yeah.
Because it was not dead yet, but oh well, anyway, no harm, no foul. He dropped the ball after he picked it up, and it's going to be a short field. The ball spotted at the 22-yard line. A very, very short punt.
And that was Jarvis Brown, number 7, who caught that ball for Silver Bluff.
And I'm sure he's being told on the sidelines now, get away from the ball.
I was just going to say that was a little bit dangerous. That could have turned right around and given the ball back to the Saints.
Of course, we saw Rich Spring Mineta take a punt like that, catch it in the air with his back to the goal line. This is why you were in Oregon, by the way. I'm never going to let him forget that he went to Oregon. And but he caught it with his back to the line of scrimmage with the ball in the air, catches it amongst a crowd just like that, turns around and runs it for a touchdown, breaking about 3 or 4 tackles along the way too. That was Rich Springs' one score of the night. All right, the officials got together and discussed something. Whatever it was, they're pretty much set to go here. Silver Bluff comes out, 2 receivers split wide to the left. Pistol formation. Hands it off. And keeps running, spinning around, spinning the player. He's going to pick up maybe a yard. It's big, a 2nd down and 9 coming up.
Tyshawn Wanamaker, number 62, with a nice tackle. Just stood the man up, make sure he didn't get any good yardage. Silver Bluff needs to score here.
Handoff. Ooh, nice tackle. That was McFarland again on the carry. Gets inside the 20. Picked up a couple yards. 3rd down, 6 coming up.
Looked like he was going to pick up more on that play. There was a big hole there on the left side, but it closed quickly.
3rd and 6 for the Bulldogs.
Two backs. Shotgun formation, a back on either side. Hands it off. McFarland breaks through the hole. He's down. He's got plenty of room for the 1st down. Going to be short of the touchdown, but it'll be another 1st and goal situation for Silver Bluff.
And that was a nice run, and he gets a nice block here by the lead back, and a good block by the tackle. Well done.
Quickly to the line. Same formation. Hands off, same play. In for the touchdown. Gets the final yard. McFarland on the carry. Silver Bluff makes up for the missed opportunity in the 1st quarter with 9:33 left to go in the 2nd quarter. And they lead 14-0 with a 2-point conversion coming. Unless they decide to attempt a kick. They do not. They're going to go for 2.
And they found a little something on that right side, and that was a nice run by McFarland. He did what most football coaches like to see, and that is when he got the football, he turned north to south and took it right to the goal line.
All right, they are going to attempt to kick it this time. Spot is down, kick is up, and it is no good. That went left, and the score will be 14-0. 9:33 left to go in the 2nd quarter. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
0. Bulldogs 14.
How long was that run? About 7 yards?
It was 1 yard.
Were you hurt on the job? Are you trying to keep your work comp payments? Do you feel like no one is listening? Your employer, the company doctor, the insurance company? Well, we're listening. Our workers' compensation team has helped hundreds of injured South Carolinians. Call us now and let us listen to you. For a free consultation, call 803-644-5335 or visit thechandlerlawfirm.com.
You can count on Chandler.
A 36-yard run by Washington, a 1-yard run by McFarland, and a 2-point conversion sandwiched in between those two, and Silver Bluff leads 14-0 over Calhoun County. Friday the 13th. Haven't mentioned that yet. It's one of Ken Brace's favorite days of the year.
You know, I didn't even think about that until you just said it. But it is Friday the 13th. Something strange should be happening.
Probably be some black cats out.
With a nice return in the 1st.
All right, return is a good one for Calhoun County. It gets out to the 41-yard line.
And that's Jovan Kinley with the return, number 15.
Give him the 42. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10 from the 42. Silver Bluff's defense has been very stingy. They've given up a 1st down. The only 1st down was through a roughing the kicker penalty.
He's stopped by a host of Bulldogs.
That play picked up 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 coming up.
We had the same situation last week. We got to find out who number 2 is. We got to give him credit by name, not just number. He's a tough little runner.
And this is not going to end well for Calhoun County. Evans went to his right, stopped, tried to come back to his left, and he gets shot down right around the 40-yard line. So a loss of 5 yards, and they'll bring up 3rd down. Actually, there's a holding call against Calhoun County. I believe that'll be declined. It is declined. We've already got 5 yards lost. 3rd down and 12 for Calhoun County.
And I believe that it was Tyler Wooten in on that tackle. Threw the quarterback for a loss. Good pressure again. One of the hallmarks of the Bulldog defense. They like to bring pressure, like to stunt.
Evans dropping back to pass, throws it down the field. And that's too long. Had a receiver out there, but overshot him. So 4th down and 12 coming up.
And the quarterback took a shot that time just as he was throwing the ball, and he is not in a state of comfort right at the moment.
Yeah,
looks like he's holding his ribs. He felt that one.
Yeah, I believe. No, they thought they were going to call a timeout because of his injury. They finally got somebody in his place. And this, they peeled off. I thought that was going to be a block for sure.
They were right there.
That roughing the punter, you made him a little gun shy.
Well, once again, you got to get the right angle going in there to try to block the thing. If you run straight at the punter, then, you're going to have some problems. You got to get in front of him.
Punt was a good one this time. It goes down to the 25-yard line, so Silver Bluff has a much longer field than they had on the 22-yard field that they had on the 2nd touchdown. Didn't take them long to convert that into a touchdown.
And that time the punter got a nice Calhoun County bounce.
So let's see what Silver Bluff does. They've had success just handing off and running off tackle. Player comes on late. Gets into position, pistol formation. Turns hands off. Big hole, good run. Down close to another 1st down. I think he'll be a yard short. Give him 9 on the play. 2nd down and 1 coming up.
And San Quentin McFarland is getting a workout so far in this ball game. He's doing a lot of things. That's got to be a penalty.
That's McFarland leaning forward, got caught. That'll be a 5-yard walk.
Like I said, he's doing a lot of things out there today.
You jinxed him.
I did not.
Friday the 13th. He had a touchdown on the last possession. He's had some pretty good runs and got some yardage building up. So he has not been unlucky except for the procedure penalty there. 2nd down and 6 coming up. Again, pistol formation. Get set, and I think there's a miscommunication there. Just threw it out to get rid of it. That's actually a pretty good job by Washington to get the ball out there and not take a sack and lose yardage. He turned to hand the ball off, and the back went the opposite direction.
And that's one thing I'd really like to see Silver Bluff do is throw the ball a little bit. I think in the next couple of weeks, in order for them to be successful offensively, they're going to have to throw it a little bit, coming up against a couple of stout defenses.
So 3rd down and 6 coming up. Calhoun County has held Silver Bluff once on 4th down. Now there's a fumble. And here's another opportunity.
That's
and actually, he throws it away. Now we've got a free-for-all. Holy cow. I can't believe that they actually didn't throw a flag somehow, some way on that. And he's spotting the referee now. He's just standing there pointing down the field.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. I thought he might mark it back where the quarterback was down too, but that doesn't appear to be the case.
So loss is back to the 20-yard line, 4th down and 14. The punting unit on for the first time tonight for Silver Bluff.
And that play was a mess. They're lucky to come out with the football.
And a short kick off the side of the foot. Goes out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
And they were very fortunate there. The punter almost punted that ball into the back of his personal protector.
That was interesting. The official ran down the field, turned around to spot it with the referee. And I was going to say, he could see where that went out of bounds. The coach for Silver Bluff almost caught it on the sidelines. He went down to the 50, walked back, and give him credit, they're at the exact spot where the ball went out of bounds. So, okay, 42-yard line. Calhoun County, great field position in Bulldog territory. The ball landed in bounds and bounced out. So, anyway, pistol formation. Hands off, number 2. Going nowhere. Loses 2 yards.
For a short loss.
So second down, and we'll give him a loss of 1. Second down and 11. Calhoun County having a tough time getting it started on offense.
And it's a lot of different guys from Silver Bluff that are making penetration. That time it was Donovan Bush, number 6. They have always been an active defensive team, and we're seeing that again tonight.
So a loss of 2 yards as Evans tries to go outside. And he'll lose another yard. Second down and 12, third down and 12 coming up.
And Thiessen Wooten once again in on the defense. A couple of them in there, penetrating once again. I like what they do when they penetrate, then they go straight down the line of scrimmage, take on the offensive ball carrier, and nowhere for him to run.
The little cheerleaders for Silver Bluff out on the track, cheering behind the team. Now that is cute. All right, third down and long. Throwing a pass down the field. Too far. No flags. Fourth down coming up.
That'll bring up fourth down.
The passing game for both teams has been not very sharp so far tonight. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah, that's more like throw it down the field and hope for the best. Another punt for Calhoun County. He's been a little bit of an adventure. He gets that away. At least he's getting warmed up, but that one's going to be short, and he takes a great Calhoun County bounce. That's going to go down inside the 15-yard line to the 14. Chandler Law Firm, 1st and 10, 4:25 left to go in the second quarter.
And again, Silver Bluff had pressure on the punter, but they are a little gun shy after that first punt that got them the 15-yard penalty. But they've got people coming off the corners virtually untouched, and they're deep in the backfield.
Now Silver Bluff has been breaking off some pretty long runs, but nothing of tremendous amount of rushing. At 36 yards for the touchdowns, the longest one. I would not be surprised at this point in the game to see a really long run. Let's see if Silver Bluff can do that. Washington going to follow a blocker, gets up the middle, going to be tackled, but not before he picks up 9 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
I like that play. That's good. You get him a lead blocker in there. Pretty nice hole on the offensive line. Jamal Washington's a good athlete.
They give him 8 on the play. 2nd down and 2. I would imagine that Silver Bluff will try to keep it on the ground. But they've got a long ways to go unless they do break one. That's going to get the 1st down. That'll be out across the 25 to the 26. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10 for Silver Bluff.
Tyler Boone on the carry.
Clock runs down, 3:30. Oh, hit hard at the line of scrimmage.
Ball came loose.
I believe Silver Bluff recovered it.
They're going to rule him down.
Down the Saints.
That's going to be no gain. 2nd down and 10.
Now make it 2nd down.
Number 30 and number 25 in on the tackle for Calhoun County. And that would be Dominic Gladden and Camonte Howell.
Calhoun County has come up tough here in the 2nd quarter.
You know, they've got some size right there in the middle of the line. They have very few linemen, but the ones they have are not bad.
Washington, under pressure, tried to get it out in front and led his man a little too much. That's going to bring up 3rd and 10. But your wish is their command. They tried to throw it.
Well, there's a part of that I'd like to see where one throw gets caught by the other guy, you know what I mean?
We talk about the traditions. Once upon a time, who could they throw it? Back when Dwayne Bates was the quarterback, Corey Chavis wide receiver, and Troy Williamson when he was a receiver here. And boy, could he motor down the field. And they'd run that little out route and throw a pass about 8-9 yards down the field. And the DBs would be chasing him. I remember him playing at South Aiken High. And South Aiken guys were running behind him, and he was pulling away. All right, that's a delay of the game, and they go very quickly.
Now,
I believe if
that's pretty amazing right there, because Calhoun County is running onto the field, basically, as the ball's being snapped, and they make a great defensive stop.
Actually, I think that was a poor read. If he gives to his man, he would have gotten to the corner and had all kind of room to run out here.
4th down, Bulldog.
But it's 4th down and 16, 17 yards. So another punting situation. 2:20 left to go until halftime. So if Calhoun County can get a break on offense and make something happen, they'll be right back in this game. And the whistles stop the clock, and that's going to be a movement on Silver Bluff and be 5 yards further back. So Silver Bluff looked really good early and scoring their first touchdown and then driving down the field on their second possession when they got a holding penalty and ended up getting stopped right out inside the 10-yard line. Hey, Silver Bluff played very sloppy since. Here's another short punt, and it's picked up by...
That's a terrific play.
Yeah, that's actually one of those you can't believe he picked it up, but Devontae Griddle picked it up and ran it down to the 20-yard line, and he was close to breaking that off and taking it to the end zone.
And that ball, he had no choice but to catch that ball. I mean, it came right to him. Got hit immediately, but broke a couple tackles. Dangerous. And the punts for both teams, a little bit iffy tonight.
And Silver Bluff, it's a kicking game. will need some work as well. They missed an extra point, and the punts not that good. Now there's an option play trying to get to the corner, turns inside, and 2 is hit hard as he got inside, only to get a linebacker coming back across.
Going down there, the Bulldog with the stop.
2nd down and 10 coming up. And number 2 may ask him not to run that play again.
Defense for Silver Bluff been impressive so far tonight. Doing a very nice job without their leading defensive player.
I think Calhoun County needs to pass it, and they are going to pass it. Left-handed thrower. Now he's going to get outside and make yardage. And he's going to be close to a first down. That'd be the first down of the game for Calhoun County, except for the penalty that they picked up one on. And that may be the ticket there. Get him in the backfield, give him some room, let the quarterback run. It's inside the 10. It's going to be 1st and goal. And hard to believe with what we've seen from Calhoun County so far tonight that they're actually knocking on the door to cut the lead in half.
And that was a nice play by Sterling Evans. And I'll tell you, he's a tough kid. We saw him a little earlier in the game going back to pass and got hit. Wind knocked at him or his ribs, and just as I talk about him, we got a bad snap and can't be handled, and Silver Bluff comes up with a big break for the Bulldogs.
So Silver Bluff comes back there. The snap was wide left, got his hand on it and rolled on the ground, and he slid by it, and before he knew it, Silver Bluff slid up and made the recovery. So Silver Bluff avoids disaster and now gets the ball back with 54.8 seconds left to go here in the first half. And I would imagine they'll keep it on the ground, try to make sure they don't make any mistakes down here. Good stop by Calhoun County, and probably only got one more play coming from Silver Bluff. Give him a yard on the play, 2nd down and 9. They need to pick up the pace or they're going to get another 5-yard delay of the game. They get it off. Oh, got loose. Goes out of bounds over on the far side. He'll be close to a first down. Clock stops with 7.3 seconds left to go. They'll move the chains. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10. And they start the clock. So that'll be the last play of the first half. And Silver Bluff will go into halftime with a lead of 14-0, but I'm sure that they're looking at this as it should have been a lot more than 14 points.
Yeah, well, they had one called back. We know that, so it could have been at least 21. All right, and they're probably a little disappointed that they didn't do a better job. They looked very sharp early in the first quarter. They have looked a little out of sync since that time, and penalties have hurt. A little bit of a sloppy game on both teams' part, frankly.
Penalties have hurt, plus some poor kicking, and put them down in a hole where Calhoun County, to their credit, played better defensively. The short field gave Silver Bluff the second field a poor punt on the part of Calhoun County that only made it 22-yard line. So 14-0, Silver Bluff probably, if the reality is as well, could be worse. It could be 14-7 at the very least, with Calhoun County having that fumble inside the 10-yard line just now.
Yeah, there were a couple of times that Silver Bluff either made something happen or took advantage of the things that Calhoun County made a mistake on and kept them from getting on the scoreboard. Got a couple of scores for you here, Ed. Early, Midland Valley is up against AC Flora 13-7 as we speak. And North Augusta, 7-0 North Augusta against South Aiken with about a minute to go in the first. Okay.
Very good. All right. Thank you, Eric, for texting us the scores.
We got one more here, too. Wagner Sally and Ridge Spring, 0-0 after the first quarter. We said it might be a defensive game, and so far it looks like it is over there.
And that is not a surprise. I expected Silver Bluff to give Wagner Sally all they want because defensively they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Offensively they struggle a little bit. Wagner Sally struggled a couple of weeks ago against Williston, so that's a pretty evenly matched group right there.
Yeah, and Ridge Spring did have a series of 3 straight shutouts, so like you say, they play some defense over there.
And of course, we're waiting for scores of North Augusta and South Aiken. So we'll see if he has any scores. It was 7-0. North Augusta led under a minute in, so that was a little late. We need to get an update of that. All right, we're at the half, 14-0. I think we'll be entertained. It may be a homecoming here for Silver Bluff. If it is, we'll cover all of that when we return here on the Aiken Standard Game of the Week.
Here at Just Julie's, we aren't your typical sub shop. All of our meats and cheeses are cut fresh, and we have a wider variety of menu items. We're happy to create new items to suit your many desires, which means custom orders that you won't find anywhere else. We've been a part of the Aiken community for over 35 years, so come and see us for lunch or dinner. You won't be disappointed. Our sandwiches, salads, and customer service can't be beat. Just Julie's, Pine Log Road in the Staples Shopping Center across from Kroger.
Here at Bargain Blowouts, we have 5-piece dinette starting at only $199.
Check the rest. Buy from the best.
Financing and layaway available. Bargain Blowouts Furniture and Mattress Superstore next to the Aiken Hospital.
Were you hurt on the job? Are you trying to keep your work comp payments? Do you feel like no one is listening? Your employer, the company doctor, the insurance company? Well, we're listening. Our workers' compensation team has helped hundreds of injured South Carolinians. Call us now and let us listen to you. For a free consultation, call 803-644-5335 or visit thechandlerlawfirm.com.
You can count on Chandler.
It is youth night here at halftime. Maybe it's not homecoming.
No, it's not homecoming. It's youth.
So what do you say? Let's watch the youth cheerleaders. Got some little tiny ones and some bigger ones. We'll watch them cheer here as we get kids involved at halftime. There we go. I don't know who we had on camera the most, but those little cheerleaders that are in the 5-year-old range are just, those have got to be the cutest cheerleaders I've ever seen. As they run off the field. All right, I guess we're going to get entertained by the band here at halftime. They're not out on the field. That's a disappointment. Silver Bluff is famous for their marching band and their music program here. But since it's youth night, we had the cheerleaders out on the field. All right, so we're at halftime, and it's 14-0. Silver Bluff leading here at the half. Any thoughts, Coach?
Yeah, my thoughts are, both teams have played pretty good defense. I think both of them have done that. All right, offensively, Silver Bluff, of course, has run the ball well for most of the half, and they've put up a couple scores. In fact, they put up 3 scores. The other thing, though, I don't know that we've seen a completed pass yet. Maybe we saw the one just little toss out into the flat, but it really went for almost no gain. And I'll tell you, when you have teams that are smaller schools, smaller teams and so on, especially Calhoun County, it's tough to put together a really fine-tuned passing game. But I'd like to see both of the teams throw the ball just a little bit to keep the other team honest. You've got to have a little balance going, and I think that would open up the scoreboard for them.
Obviously, I think they would throw if they could. Neither one look real polished in their passing game. And give both defenses credit. They're not in a particularly great spot to be able to throw the ball with the defenses covering the wide receivers as well as they're doing here.
You know, one of the things I know that Burton Abel said when he first got the job a couple years ago now at Silver Bluff was that he wanted to concentrate on throwing it. And I think Cedric Trotty, who is one of their defensive players, was also used to quarterback a bit because he can throw the football. But right now, they're obviously primarily a running football team, okay? And that's what they're known for, and that's what they're going to do. I got a little update here. I believe this is correct. Midland Valley is up 32-14 over Gilbert at this point.
No. AC Flora.
Oh, yeah, over AC Flora. Gilbert leads 14-7, okay, against Strom Thurmond.
There you go.
I got that right.
Yeah, he doesn't give us the second teams, and we get a little confused on what Eric's trying to tell us of reading it. And I think he gave me my update here. What's the deal with South Aiken and North Augusta?
South Aiken is in the red zone late in the half. They are still behind 7-0, but they are moving the ball.
If we could pick up the radio broadcast, we could hear Jason and Ricky Myers doing the broadcast. There's another update for you, Coach.
I got it. Jawan Bell, who we saw last weekend, is very, very impressive. Picked the ball off, ran it back for a touchdown, but got called for a block in the back, so they had to bring it back.
But I think they retained possession, so South Aiken will probably trail 7-0 at the half. And that's pretty much what we expected. We expected that one to be close.
Well, I tell you what, with those quarterbacks that they have and those running backs, I expect them to put some points up in the second half. I don't think it's going to stay low scoring. I think they'll score a couple touchdowns, probably both of them will.
And good for Midland Valley. After starting off with no wins, they beat Aiken last week and beat them handily. I was surprised that they were able to win going away. They did that, kept Aiken winless. And they were up pretty good on AC Flora to get their second win.
Yeah, 32-14. That's impressive for them. They're scoring some points. We saw them earlier in the year, and of course they played against a couple of good teams early in the year. But their offense still wasn't in sync at that point. Okay, but it looks like the last couple of weeks, like you say, they're putting some points up, and that's good news for them. They're moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. We're at halftime here at the Bluff, Silver Bluff High School, where Silver Bluff leads 14-0, and here going into the second half, Silver Bluff will get the ball first. I look for them to try to keep it on the ground, run down the field. They work in a pass or two, maybe, but I'd be surprised. They're going to try to get down the field just like they did to open the game and put some more points on the scoreboard, and they can feel pretty comfortable the way Calhoun County has not moved the football. They score another touchdown, get up 20-0, 21-0. I think that they'll be in good shape.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things we've seen here over the years when we come to do a game at Silver Bluff, something unusual usually happens. Okay, I can remember a few years ago the Strom Thurmond game when Strom Thurmond was up very, very big in going into the second half and so on. And I remember, I can picture it, the Silver Bluff team got together, their coaches gave them a little verbal encouragement, I'll say, and they came on and won that ball game, and I believe they won it in overtime, as I remember that night. Really some good football that's played here. And then, of course, there was one night they had a ball game here, and the concession stand caught on fire, and the flames were shooting up 20 feet and things like that. The game had to be delayed. So it's still early. We got another half to go, and like you said, it's Friday the 13th, so we might see some weird stuff here.
You bring up the game that lives in infamy. We were at North Augusta that night.
Yeah.
Cam Huffman was the sports editor at Aiken Standard. He had wanted to come here to Silver Bluff for that game. I talked him into going to North Augusta, where North Augusta just wiped South Aiken off the field. And we had the fire, and we had 3 overtimes, I think, that night. And Silver Bluff upset Aiken that night.
And I think that game lasted till 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that, didn't it?
Something like that. Now, I was looking for college football scores, and I do believe that Clemson is playing tonight against Syracuse. So I think we'll try to get a score for that. I'm sure nobody's watching that, and they're watching us.
Now, there are a bunch of young future football players out on the field right now as we speak. They're running all over the place. Youth night. And I'll tell you, it's a good PR move to let the kids out on the field during the ball game like this. They'll remember it. And some of those kids out there are going to want to play football here for Silver Bluff as they get a little bit older. That's a neat thing they do here. That's very, very good.
Well, again,
a lot of schools do that now.
It's great as a kid to come up to the schools and play on the fields. I played at Aiken Stadium when I was a little kid, and it meant a lot. And, of course, it builds the word I'm looking for, but the want to. You want to go play for your high school and play football when you're a little kid, and one day I'm going to run through the tunnel that we talked about at the beginning.
I'll tell you what, one of my favorite memories when I was coaching, my kids, when they were 6, 7, 8, used to come to the games and stand on the sidelines and bring some of their buddies, and they absolutely loved it, and they were in awe of the high school players. They thought they were just giants, you know. And when the weather was cold and the mist was in the air and the snow was falling and things like that, they thought they were in heaven and loved it. And then, of course, they both grew up and were football players themselves. But little kids learn to like things, obviously, when they're younger. And some of these kids out on that field, I can see them going home tonight and saying, one of these days I'm going to run the ball on that field. One of these days I'm going to throw the football on that field. I'm going to make a tackle. I'm going to do something. I'm going to be a Bulldog.
All right, now raise your hand if you thought the score of the game tonight between Clemson and Syracuse would be Syracuse 17, Clemson 14, going toward half.
You will notice that my hand is not up.
No, mine either. There's no way that's right. No, apparently the Syracuse has had a good first half. I'm sure Clemson will get that straightened up at the halftime, but that's an interesting score to say the least. Barnwell is up 21-0. We expected that, and it is 7-0 halftime at North Augusta and South Aiken.
The other thing that I'm curious about now that you've mentioned the Clemson-Syracuse score is who's playing quarterback for Clemson tonight, okay? Last week their quarterback got injured late in the ball game with an ankle. I don't know if he's 100% or not. Dabo Sweeney said that he thought he was going to be able to play the night, but I'd be curious about that because he's a big part of that offense now.
And apparently, from reading my telephone, which I don't know how accurate, says Clemson has the ball 4th and 10 with a minute left to go in the second. So they've got a whole nother half to go as we have the final seconds wind down of halftime here, and both teams should be getting back on the field to do a 3-minute warm-up. While they do that, we'll take a break and hear from our sponsors who we could not do without and bring you this game of the week. So we'll take a break here at Silver Bluff High School, where they lead 14-0 here at the half. We'll be right back.
In Aiken, we are football. Outstanding in the field, in the booth, in the newspaper, on the web, on the app, mobile, social, and very, very local. Aiken Standard is Football Friday.
Come on in to Bargain Blowout Furniture, where we have recliners starting at $199.
Check the rest.
Buy from the best.
Financing and layaway available. Bargain Blowouts Furniture and Mattress Superstore, next to the Aiken Hospital.
Were you recently arrested for driving under the influence? Are you looking for an experienced DUI attorney but don't know where to start? The Chandler Law Firm can help. We know being charged with the DUI is an intimidating and frightening experience. A DUI conviction can lead to fines, court costs, probation, license suspension, and even jail time. Time is of the essence. The sooner you call, the more likely we're able to protect your rights.
You can count on Chandler.
Yeah, right.
Unbelievable price, huh?
I'll say. What about the dock fees?
Here at Satcher Ford, we never charge dock fees.
How about the closing fees?
Nope. The price you see is the price you pay here at Satcher Ford.
Okay, we'll see about that.
At Satcher Ford, you're always going to pay the price you're quoted. No dock fees, no surprises.
Wow, you weren't kidding. No extra fees. I'll take it.
Thank you. Thanks, Chris. I'll see you. All right, have a good one.
Here at Bargain Blowouts, we have 5-piece dinette starting at only $199.
Check the rest. Buy from the best.
Financing and layaway available. Bargain Blowouts Furniture and Mattress Superstore, next to the Aiken Hospital.
We're back at the Bluff as we get ready for the second half kickoff. Silver Bluff will be receiving, and they lead 14-0 over at Calhoun County. The Saints struggled on offense. They got one first down rushing the football, and then they got another one by penalty. So they had very little offense. Silver Bluff's defense didn't give up much. Silver Bluff, on the other hand, got a lot of yardage, but only 14 points to show for it.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I think Calhoun actually did a pretty nice job in the second quarter defensively. They stood up pretty well. Early in the ball game, they were shredded a little bit, but they did a pretty nice job there in the second quarter. And you got to be impressed by that because they've only got 24 players over there. Silver Bluff has players going both ways. I mean, one way. I'm sure that Calhoun County's got a bunch of guys going both ways. So we'll see how their conditioning and how they get worn down, if at all, during the second half. That could be a big factor in the second half here.
Absolutely. Silver Bluff, well, Calhoun County took the opening kickoff, went 3 and out, punted, and Silver Bluff took that punt, went down the field, scored on a 36-yard run by Washington to go up 6-0. They went for 2. They had a couple of misfires and a penalty on Silver Bluff, penalty on Calhoun County, and finally did get the 2-point conversion to go up 8-0. Then Silver Bluff on their next possession went down the field inside the 10, scored a touchdown, but had it called back for holding. They added another penalty for illegal procedure in that series, and Calhoun County held them. But unfortunately, Calhoun County on their punt only made it out to the 22-yard line, and Silver Bluff was able to take it short field, go up 14-0, the 2-point conversion. Actually, it was a kick. Point after try was no good, and that's where we are now, 14-0, with Calhoun County kicking off.
Tyler Wooten and Raquan Mann deep for the Bulldogs. Just as we start the second half, Ridge Spring takes a 6-0 lead over Wagner Sally.
Fielded around the 25-yard line, cuts upfield, got some room to run, gets to the edge, goes across the 45, out to the 50. They push him as a pile to the 48-yard line of Silver Bluff. So great opening position for Calhoun County. Let's see if what they did at half and talked about will translate. Well, no, that's Silver Bluff. Excuse me. Silver Bluff gets the kickoff return, returns it to the Saints' 47-yard line.
And number 1, John Green, was the man who returned that short kickoff. Very nice run. Great field position to start the second half.
So Silver Bluff off and running. My expectation, they'll keep it on the ground and try to get down there in short order just as they did in the first half. Hand off out of that pistol formation, and McFarland picks up pretty much where he left off. He had a good first half.
He sure did.
Gets to the 31-yard line.
And that time he took the play outside. They've been running inside the tackles for the most part. Okay, that time he took it immediately to the outside and was able to outrun them for a nice gain, first down.
Chandler Law Firm, 1st and 10. Pistol formation, got an inverted wishbone. Going to keep. Washington fumbles the ball. It's on the ground, and believe he recovered it. Somehow he got away to get out there and recover his own fumble. Pretty heads up by the quarterback.
Very fortunate.
And for his efforts, he picked up a yard. So 2nd down and 9.
when that play started, it looked like there was going to be a much bigger play than it turned out to be. Good reaction by the defense of Calhoun County.
Now, tripped up. Good gain.
That's Wooten. Nice run once again. I like the way he runs. I like it when he turns it upfield.
Third down. It's going to be 3rd down and 4 for Silver Bluff.
And like we like to say, I believe they're in 4-down territory already to start the second half.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine they'd punt if they don't make the 1st down here.
Now Washington going to get outside, get the 1st down. He's got a lane to the end zone. He's going to be pushed out inside the 5. Looks like he went out about the 2-yard line. It's going to be a Chandler Law Firm 1st and goal from the 2.
And I'll tell you, anytime he gets outside, he is a threat to take it all the way. Okay, he is a very fine open field runner.
Special shout out and congratulations to
good block here, good speed. Just does grab him.
So 1st and goal. Turns, hands off, outside into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And pretty much what we expected in terms of get it down there, get it scored quick, and they go up 20-0.
And that is San Quentin McFarland once more with a 2-yard run for the TD.
It took them 1 minute and 39 seconds to get that done. 2-point conversion coming. Turns inside into the end zone. Another 2-point conversion, 22-0. Silver Bluff makes a statement that they're here to win the game tonight. They go on top, 22-0. 10:21 left to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a break and be right back.
Here at Bargain Blowouts, we have 5-piece dinette starting at only $1.99.
Check the rest. Buy from the best.
Financing and layaway available. Bargain Blowouts Furniture and Mattress Superstore next to the Aiken Hospital.
In Aiken, we are football. Outstanding in the field, in the booth, in the newspaper, on the web, on the app, mobile, social, and very, very local. Aiken Standard is Football Friday.
The Aiken Standard Game of the Week. I'm Ed Gerardo, along with Coach Kim Brace. Eric Russell is down on the sidelines. Silver Bluff, having its way at home, leads 22-0. And now they'll kick off. Took them 1 minute, 39 seconds to score that first touchdown. Exactly how they handled it to open the game. We'll see if they can finish this here quickly in the 3rd quarter. They can score another touchdown with Calhoun's offense sputtering. I don't see how they're going to score, quite frankly, more than 20 points at this point.
Yeah, and a very short kick, only about a 2-yard return. Going to have it on about the 30, 31. Not bad field position, but they have not been able to move the football effectively at all, so they have to come up with something. Let's see if they made any adjustments at halftime.
All right, Calhoun County comes out throwing as Coach called for him to do. And intended for number 2, who we still don't know who he is, but he not able to bring it in. Brings up 2nd and 10.
And it may well be, we don't know, that's just one play, but it may well be that Calhoun decided, hey, we've got to throw it just a little bit if we're going to get anywhere. Have not been able to run it for any consistency.
Well, a lot of blue jerseys coming and hits the quarterback hard. And Evans, you got a feel for him there. He kind of exposed himself, got out there and hit hard.
And John Green, number 1, makes a nice open field tackle here. All right, nice tackle. And Green has had a couple big plays. Return to kickoff for good yardage. Playing well on defense.
Now throwing the football. Kid's got a little bit of an arm, but he's just slinging it out there. And
we may have a roughing the passer. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's exactly what the call is. Roughing the passer called on Silver Bluff. That's going to give Calhoun County their third first down. And out of the 3, 2 have come on 15-yard penalties against Silver Bluff. And penalties, though not killing them, have been really the bugaboo for Silver Bluff tonight. That marks it all the way up to the 45-yard line, where Calhoun County put it in play. Chandler Law Firm, 1st and 10.
And I agree with you also. A couple of the passes they've thrown have been really not much to them, just fly routes or go routes, whatever you want to call it, and throw it up and hope it lands in the right guy's hands.
Pistol formation. Got a man split wide to the left. They go in the option. Quarterback Evans, give him credit. He's got some guts. He's being hit hard when he goes into the line, but picked up 4 yards on that carry. 49-yard line. Second down and 6.
You know, we talked about it a little earlier, and Calhoun County, being a small school, I really don't expect that they can be good every year. We saw them 2 years ago, in 2015, and they were terrific. 11-2, they finished losing in the quarterfinals or the semifinals of the state tournament. And they had a good year the following year. Not quite as good, but still good. But they're down this year, there's no question. And I got a feel for them a little bit when you see that they've only got 24 players. It's hard to practice when you've only got 24 players, and it's hard to be consistent when you're having to play both ways, and things are tough out there.
Now, we actually went up to a Calhoun County game, and in fact, the quarterback was Shamir Jeffrey, Alshon Jeffrey's brother.
And they played Williston, I think, that night.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was a big, tough, good football game.
So you're right. And Alshon Jeffrey played for Calhoun County, and they were state champions, I believe. And that's sort of like when Troy Williamson was here. There's a fumble, and that's on the ground and picked up. And Silver Bluff's going to take this one back all the way in. Touchdown, Silver Bluff. Opportunistic. 28-0 with the extra point coming up. And ran that option, just couldn't get it out there to him. And now I believe the wheels are starting to come off for Calhoun County. And it may be a flag. It's a touchdown they called unsportsmanlike against Silver Bluff.
But it is a touchdown.
But it is a touchdown. It'll be I don't know if they'll walk it off on the extra point or on the kickoff.
And we have a couple of Wootons on the team. This one was Tyson, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, Tyson Wooten, number 44, and recovered fumble, and I believe he took it in from about 35 yards out. We'll call it 35.
Now, good heads-up play. Wooten came down and picked it up, never skipped, didn't miss a beat. Can't go down to a knee on that. He'll be down, so he did a good job picking that up.
Non-sportsmanlike is what he's calling. That'll be on the kickoff.
I believe if they're going to go for 2, I mean, if you want to stop them, take the 15-yard penalty down here. But they're not. Let's see if Silver Bluff tried an extra point. They went for 2, made it, tried an extra point, missed it, went for 2 and made it. So here we go again, and they're going to line up and go for 2. And now we have a whistle. And I believe that the Calhoun County coach is probably discussing, why can't we take 15 yards here if they're going to go for 2? And now they're going to discuss what the coach from Calhoun County said. I mean, it makes sense. If they're going to go for 2, you knock them back 15 yards and try to keep points off the board. But they're not doing that. They're going to go for 2 down here at 3. So who knows? He may have been asking them where was a good place to get coffee after the game.
Well, and I don't think they can take that. I think they've got to take it on the kickoff.
All right. This is a pass. And I believe it was incomplete. So they used that opportunity to practice their passing, which should make you happy.
It does make me happy. I like that. You got to have a little goal line pass down there, and they just ran one.
All right, 28-0 our score. We'll take a break and be right back.
Come on into Bargain Blocks Furniture, where we have 2 5-piece bedroom sets starting at only $576.
Take the rest.
Buy from the best.
Financing and layaway available. Bargain Blowouts Furniture and Mattress Superstore, next to the Aiken Hospital.
Tyler's Tire and Auto Center, founded in 1963, family owned and operated for 50 years and dedicated to customer service with safety of your family, our top priority. Tyler's Tire is a full-service tire retail, tire repair, and automotive repair facility with ASC certified mechanics. Located in 2 locations, 1019 Richland Avenue West and 1518 Whiskey Road. Let our family take care of yours. Tyler's Tire and Auto Center.
28-0 as Silver Bluff has been in the Tyler Tire end zone 4 times tonight. And when you look at that score, you think they kicked 4 extra points. Au contraire.
And Calhoun County should get good field position. Okay, 15-yard penalty. They're kicking now from the 25-yard line.
And it's an onside kick, or did he just miss that thing?
I don't think that was an intentional onside kick. I could be wrong about that, but I think it was just a poor kick.
Well, good job by Calhoun County being ready on a off the side of the foot kick, if that's what it was, which would have been a perfect onside kick, looked like at least. Calhoun County now has great field position at the 39-yard line. They trail 28-0, 8:24 left to go in the third quarter.
And Trayvon Gardner, number 80, I believe, is the young man that came up with that kick. Gives his team great field position. And I think at this point, Calhoun County would be very happy if they could do something offensively, get a score, raise their spirits just a little bit.
Boys, Silver Bluff's defense is just annihilating them.
Yeah, they've been very, very tough tonight.
And they're not soft tackles either. They're popping people.
There have been a couple of big hits out there, and Silver Bluff over the years has done that. They will hit you.
Loss of a yard, 2nd down and 11 rather. I would imagine that getting a little gun shy. Now there's all kinds of movement, and I believe that's a procedure penalty against Calhoun County. The referee turned and gave the signal to the visitor's side, so that's not the way you're supposed to do it, but it's a 5-yard walk-off, and I'm pretty sure it was a procedure call against
I think so.
Calhoun County. And boy, that's a lot of running around with Silver Bluff. And it's interesting. Silver Bluff comes up and makes that hit, didn't make the tackle, gets away, hit him again, spun him around and came back and hit him again before he could get away. Doing a great job of containment.
You know, Jermaine Elmore, J.B. Holmes, Evan Hall, those 3 down linemen have done a great job all night for Silver Bluff. Okay, we've got John Green at one of the cornerback or linebacker positions, and Michael Parrish, Jamie Bing, Donovan Bush, Tyler Wooten, Eric Langford, Teeson Wooten, and Damian Green. That's a pretty stout, pretty good Silver Bluff defense. And I know I've said this already, but I can't imagine how much even better they'd be if they had Toddy back in there, because he's their leading tackler.
This actually's got a chance. Falls incomplete. That pass at least was in the neighborhood of the receiver. So it'll bring up 4th down and 22. Punting time for Calhoun County. And they've had some good punts. They've also had some not so spectacular punts. Ought to get decent field position This is a decent.
This one's returnable.
Oh, they got to catch it.
Oh, that's a nice play.
Good job by Silver Bluff to come up and make the catch. They've been letting that fall and roll for 20 yards. So that's a good job of catching the ball. I believe that was Mann making the catch or the punt.
And if it wasn't for a very fine defensive play by Devontae Griddle, there was going to be a long return because he had to fend off a blocker and then make the tackle, and he did it. Okay, that's a tough play. He had a man right in his face blocking him, and he was able to shed him, get to the ball carrier, and if he hadn't done that, man might still be running.
You're right. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10. Back to the ground game. Keep it on the outside, gets plenty of room. McFarland moves out to the 50-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards.
Big on line for the Bulldogs. Moving the chains for another Silver Bluff Bulldog. First down.
Was there a flag on the play?
There's a flag late. I'm not sure what he's calling.
They may have called a personal foul against Calhoun County that he was out of bounds and they tackled him. I didn't see it. It's right here in front of us.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that call. I don't think that needed to be made. Okay.
He was just...
I'll tell you what, that offensive line and a lead blocker from the backfield, it was what we used to refer to as a student body left play. There was everybody over there blocking for Silver Bluff. That's a nice run.
So a 14-yard run, add 15 more to it there at the 35-yard line. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10. Another wide open hole. Going to be stopped short of a first down inside the 30 at the 29. Pickup of 6. 2nd down and 4.
Huge hole there. Plus blocking downfield. You love to see that. Okay, when you see offensive linemen still engaged 10 yards down the field, coach's eyes just light up. They're happy about that.
It makes watching the film for an offensive lineman a lot easier, too.
Oh, they love that, too.
There's a bad snap and fumble, and down he goes. And it's going to be a loss of 6 yards they gained. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
You know, Jamal Washington does a nice job at quarterback. I think maybe he took his eye off the ball there as it was snapped. It wasn't a horrible snap by any means. He may have just been looking to get started before he quite had the football under control.
Taking their time getting this play called. Clock less than 5 minutes left to go in the 3rd. They've got to be close to another delay. They've gotten a couple of delays tonight. They get it off. Now going to roll and pass under pressure. Flings it, and it's not going to be close to a first down even if he caught it. He was basically in the neighborhood of the original line of scrimmage. 4th and 10 coming up. And I would imagine Silver Bluff try to pick this up. No, he's going to send the punting unit out. And they need to practice that too. That's one of the things that I always think, that in a game where you're handily ahead, you might as well practice. You may need him to put one down inside the 5-yard line, and you need to practice that. And here at the 35, this is an opportunity to do that, but no, they're actually
they brought in their receiving corps, I believe. That wasn't the punting group, that was the receivers.
Calhoun County
you're right.
has to call a timeout. We got a Bragg Heating Company timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. We'll be right back.
I think you're right. Calhoun County was expecting them to punt.
Since 1970, Bragg Heating Company has been keeping Aiken and the surrounding communities comfortable. Our factory-trained staff can keep you on top of the latest in heating and cooling technology, and our complete metal shop allows us to make any specialty piece your home may need. We recommend the best systems for your home: Trane, Carrier, Mitsubishi ductless, and Bosch geothermal systems. We accept most major credit cards and offer financing, so when you need your system maintained, repaired, or replaced, call Bragg Heating Company. We're here to make you comfortable.
All right, timeout. Both teams have talked it over. Calhoun County, I think they were expecting a punt, so Another thing that Silver Bluff needs to work on is passing the football. So they had their wide receivers in the game. Let's see if they keep all that together. They had 2 receivers split wide on both sides of the field.
Yeah.
And they're going to do the same again. Now,
I like this goal.
Now they bring a man back. Now he goes back to the other side. 2 and 2.
Getting a little direction from the coach on the sideline. No, you belong on the other side, young man.
Actually, they've got 1 split wide left, 2 to the right, 2 backs in the backfield. Actually, I would watch for the run if I'm Calhoun County. And that's what it is, quarterback draw. And they were ready. They stop him. He's going to be right to the line of scrimmage and turn it over on downs to Calhoun County. Calhoun County did a good job. And I'd have to believe that the coach said he's going to do a quarterback draw. You better be ready for him coming down the middle.
And, you know, Calhoun County's got some football players out there, too. And I know they're having a tough season. And they've been getting thrashed lately. But they've got some kids that'll hit you. And they're playing. And oftentimes when you see a team that's had as much adversity as Calhoun has had this year, they just quit. But these kids have not done that.
Playing a little Belle Biv DeVoe here in the break. They're playing all kinds of good stuff. That's Poison. Did you know that?
I did not.
You're a music guy. That's an 80s song. All right. Number 2 goes down again. He just can't get started. And that's a 5-yard loss. 2nd down and 15.
I believe that was Donovan Bush that made the penetration that time. You've got different guys that do that for Silver Bluff all over the place, but they really get after you.
Here comes pass left-handed. Yeah, he's picked off. I'm not sure who he's throwing that to. He's going to make the tackle. Get him out of bounds. And that's pretty tough. He ends up on the blue track while the Silver Bluff guys celebrate the interception. And there's a flag. It's against the Saints. So this play will stand. And Silver Bluff will have a short field.
Damian Green with the good defense.
They had an illegal block in the back on the return, so they have a 10-yard walk-off back to the 20-yard line where they'll start in Saints territory. Silver Bluff leading 28-0 and trying to put this one away here in the 3rd.
And I think that was Damian Green that got credit for the interception.
That was who was celebrating over here.
I don't blame him.
Far side of the field. All right. Stop, makes a man miss. Nice move.
That was a nice move.
Out of bounds, but he picked up enough for another first down as he goes past the 20 to the 19. Chandler Law Firm, 1st and 10.
With that carry. Moving the chains for the Bulldogs, giving them another first down.
And that might be Mann's best run of the night. Showed some speed, got to the outside. Raekwon Mann, one of the captains for Silver Bluff.
And they're just going to string that one out and be pushed out. He got a yard. Washington on the keeper. 2nd down and 9 coming up.
Washington ran a long way to get 1 yard.
Now, Silver Bluff, from watching them tonight, they have a lot of success coming back here to the left side to the edge. They're not getting outside to the right. They are having some success running off tackle to the right side. They've scored a couple of times doing that. They may be working on all kinds of things here. Well, we got a whistle. Timeout, Silver Bluff. Silver Bluff wants to talk. Bragg Heating Company, timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. You're watching the Aiken Standard Game of the Week.
Since 1970, Bragg Heating Company has been keeping Aiken and the surrounding communities comfortable. Our factory-trained staff can keep you on top of the latest in heating and cooling technology, and our complete metal shop allows us to make any specialty piece your home may need. We recommend the best systems for your home: Trane, Carrier, Mitsubishi ductless, and Bosch geothermal systems. We accept most major credit cards and offer financing, so when you need your system maintained, repaired, or replaced, call Bragg Heating Company. We're here to make you comfortable.
Go to.
Bragg Heating Company timeout on the field, and Ken's going to tell us who this music's by.
And got an update. South Aiken.
You were going to tell me who this song was by.
No, I wasn't. I'm going to tell you who was just tied up the football game.
It was Bruno Mars. He actually knew that, folks.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. We'll get that update in just a second.
This isn't a concert now. This is a football game.
They run it. And no gain on the play. He's going to bring up 3rd and long. What's the update on the South Aiken North Augusta?
Deshaun Kitchens just scored a touchdown for South Aiken, tied the ball game up at 7-7. About 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter over there.
It's the good one that we expected it to be. All right, 3rd and long. Let's see what Silver Bluff does. They've had success running to their left and getting to the edge. And they run that off the tackle and find it tough going. They're going to pick up a yard. It's going to bring up 4th down and a long 7.
Fourth down.
And they may be letting the clock run out, down less than 30 seconds. Not sure what the clock on a game. I don't think
it'll run out.
I don't either. I think they're going to take a timeout.
Yep.
So another timeout. 19.6 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter. We'll keep it here. And wait on them. So again, the score 7-7 over at North Augusta.
That's right.
And 4 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. Our score here, 28-0. Silver Bluff having their way with Calhoun County. Calhoun County has played good in spots on defense, but offensively they've only picked up 3 first down, 2 of them by a penalty, 15-yard penalties on Silver Bluff. Only 1 play by rushing the football picked up a first down.
I would say that probably total offense is it might not even be 75 yards yet. Okay, they just have not been able to move the ball at all.
All right, 4th down. Silver Bluff called a timeout to talk about it. Now, not sure that they have the right offense on the field. They have to bring somebody off. Fortunately, that's not a, college they can call that.
There you go.
Finally, a completed pass. I believe that's the first completed pass of the night for either team.
And John Green came into the offensive huddle a little bit late, and he was obviously the one they were looking for, and he made a nice catch. Ball right in the middle of the field. Nice throw by Washington, and he went up nicely. I love what he did there. Caught it at its highest point, takes it into the end zone easily. Well done.
2-yard line. Channel off from 1st and goal. And actually, that was a touchdown. They were going for 2-point conversion.
Oh, yeah. Sure, he scored a touchdown.
So 34-0. Our score, 13.2 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Silver Bluff having it their way tonight. We'll leave it here as we get ready to go between quarters. And this is a good warm-up. I think they have, it's not Barnwell next week. We've got Barnwell and either Bamberg or Batesburg.
They've got Batesburg next week.
Batesburg next week.
Then Barnwell.
Well, no. Yeah, no, Silver Bluff has Batesburg. Barnwell. We'll be at the Barnwell game next week, and they play Bamberg, I believe.
That's right.
So that's the upcoming event. Next week, we get to go see the War Horses and go to Barnwell and be in the old stomping grounds. Used to spend a lot of time in Barnwell.
Well, now I thought you'd mention this, and you haven't yet. Didn't your dad play for Barnwell?
Yes, he did. Play for the state champions in 1954. Okay. Here's another return. We've had pretty decent returns tonight, too. So that's going to get back to just short of the 40-yard line. I think they'll say he made the 39. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10 for Calhoun County.
And Willie Brown, that's a pretty nice return.
And they just let the clock run out, so they may be going to a running clock in the fourth quarter here. 34-0 is our score as we get ready to start the fourth quarter in tonight's Aiken Standard Game of the Week. We'll be right back.
Here at Just Julie's, we aren't your typical sub shop. All of our meats and cheeses are cut fresh, and we have a wider variety of menu items. We're happy to create new items to suit your many desires, which means custom orders that you won't find anywhere else. We've been a part of the Aiken community for over 35 years, so come and see us for lunch or dinner. You won't be disappointed. Our sandwiches, salads, and customer service can't be beat. Just Julie's, Pine Log Road in the Staples Shopping Center across from Kroger.
Come on in to Bargain Blowout Furniture where we have recliners starting at $199.
Take the rest.
Buy from the best.
Financing and layaway available. Bargain Blowouts Furniture and Mattress Superstore next to the Aiken Hospital.
At Lionel Smith Limited, we can help you look your best no matter what the season. For fall and winter of 2017, we have the area's best collection of suits and sports jackets, a huge selection of those famous hand-picked Smitty ties, unique sportswear, outerwear, sweaters, made-to-measure shirts, suits and coats, socks, underwear, and lots more. New merchandise is arriving daily, so to see all the latest in men's fashions, see us at Lionel Smith Limited. Lionel Smith, limited to only the finest in men's clothing.
All right, as you return, you see that Calhoun County has completed their first completion of the game. So Silver Bluff has completed one for a touchdown, and Calhoun County completes one that picks up a first down. They move the chains. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
And they may get something tacked on to that, too. I'm not sure.
They have a discussion, and they're walking off. They have a roughing the passer, I think is what he just called.
I believe that's right.
So 15 yards against Silver Bluff. Takes it to the 35-yard line, but they got the first down the old-fashioned way. They got it through the air. So they have one rushing and one passing now. Now keeping quarterback Evans. And nothing like another play that opens it up at least a little bit. Evans has just been annihilated. Now a fight back in the back or some pushing. And one of the Calhoun players grabs big number 80, who's a big boy.
Yes, he is.
Keeps him from doing any further damage. That's Trayvon Gardner.
Don't see any flags on that, so it was just a little push and shove, but no flag.
Well, they're going to call something. Personal foul against Silver Bluff is the call. And the official's going to go over and explain it to Silver Bluff.
Yeah, the coach wants to know why that's true when it was the other guy that was being restrained. I can't imagine that Silver Bluff is at all frustrated, but I can understand it if Calhoun County's a little frustrated.
And that's
it's a long year.
That's a third first down by penalty tonight. Yeah. 15-yard penalties against Silver Bluff. So Calhoun County picked up first downs through that. That's something for Silver Bluff to work on. We're still discussing it over here on the sidelines. 11-11 left to go in our ball game. And now
we might have a penalty on the coach.
I don't know. What did he do? He pointed in the way of Calhoun County. He's making
there's a
notes.
yelling rag down there laying
yeah,
on the field.
He definitely threw a flag. And I believe he pointed in the wrong direction because there's no way he just called something against Calhoun County while talking to that coach. And that would be half the distance. I believe they've got the ball on the 15. Yep, half the distance against Silver Bluff coming up. And whatever the coach said to the referee, he
didn't go over well, did it?
He did not take kindly to it.
We're marching right down the field here now.
Coach Abel.
Let's see if we can have the players determine whether or not they move the football or not, rather than the referees. That would be good.
The worst part about this is the officials huddling and having to talk about it and dragging this thing on. And this is what we ran into in Williston at the Williston Bridge Spring game. The fourth quarter was a referee huddle as they tried to decide what their call was going to be. So they finally walk off the penalty. And I bet you the discussion was, well, it's a first down. It's going to be first and goal from inside the 10. Who knows what they were discussing, why it would take that long. I believe they were trying to decide whether it would be a first and goal. Actually, they kept the chains up. It's first and about 2 yards for Calhoun County to get a first down. Man, whoa, what a stick that was. They were going to run up the middle. No one bothered to block that young man.
And I believe that was number 6 again. Donovan Bush in there. And Nigel Corbett. Number 6 and number 17. And Evans nowhere to go.
Now Calhoun County calls a timeout so they can discuss it. We'll take a timeout with them. Bragg Heating Company timeout on the field. We'll be right back.
Were you recently arrested for driving under the influence? Are you looking for an experienced DUI attorney but don't know where to start? The Chandler Law Firm can help. We know being charged with the DUI is an intimidating and frightening experience. A DUI conviction can lead to fines, court costs, probation, license suspension, and even jail time. Time is of the essence. The sooner you call, the more likely we're able to protect your rights.
You can count on Chandler.
All right. Calhoun County has talked it over. Silver Bluff as well. And it's going to be second down. Calhoun County lost a couple yards on that. It's now second down and 4. Back to pass. Throws it out. It's on the ground. They're going to say incomplete pass. Third down and 4 coming up.
Update on one of the games that we thought would be kind of a rout, and it turned out to be Williston. 53-0 over North. Okay, they had a nice homecoming at Williston.
But at least North was able to show up and
That's
play.
right. At least they were able to play. Had to forfeit last week.
They didn't have enough players.
Could not field a team that would be competitive, and sometimes that happens. It's rare, but occasionally it does.
And that's going to be movement. And if he'd gotten past that rush, he was going to make the first down, but
And
they may have stopped because of the 5-yard penalty.
They heard the whistle, and that was it.
So that was a big if. 3rd down and 9.
Now they're moving the other direction.
Which they've done a lot of that tonight.
I saw some penalties in college and pro games the last week or two that are really unnecessary to call. And I wish they'd go somewhat like what they do in basketball. No harm, no foul. They were calling penalties on play that had nothing to do with the play, and it just disrupts things.
I agree. There's movement by Silver Bluff, so and they're going to get the 5 yards back.
A little too quick that time.
Let's see if they start the clock. With 9:31, they do. And the clock will continue to run. There's a throw. He's got a man. A little too high. So bring up 4th down.
That was close.
4th down.
And they are doing the running clock now, so they're not stopping it on the incomplete pass. And now, what is Calhoun? They're going to call another timeout so they can talk about it.
I don't blame them. They want to score. They want something positive to come out of this game.
And you're right. It's 4th down and 5 yards to go, maybe 4, a long 4. And this is the game is over, but they need to score. Like Whitmire, when we were in that first game, that was the most exciting part of the game, was Whitmire scoring it at the last play of the game. And you practice all week long. You want to try to score when you have that opportunity. So no need to go home with a timeout in your pocket.
Light up fedoras, light up sunglasses, light up anything, basically. You know, Bulldog style T-shirt. You know, go get you some.
All right, and they start the clock again, so they are going to at least let the clock run it out. Now he's got a 1st down right there. He's very, very close if he didn't get it out right. That's maybe the best play they've had in a while. And they did pick up the 1st down, so it'll be 1st and goal for Calhoun County. They trailed 34-0. Clock runs, 8:20 left to go in our ball game. Ball's on the 5-yard line.
1st and 5 for Calhoun County. Bulldog Nation, where y'all at? Make some noise for the defense.
Pistol formation. Movement, and that's going to be 5 yards the other way.
The PA announcer here at the game exhorting the fans to make some noise for Bulldog Nation. They don't want the Saints to score. They want a shutout.
And that 5-yard penalty should help that. Brings it out to the 10. Chandler Law Firm 1st and goal from the 10. As Calhoun County trying to get in the Tyler end zone for the first time tonight.
And that's going to hurt.
And I believe Silver Bluff has recovered it.
Will the Bulldog defense come up big again? Bulldog.
So the shutout is preserved. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10 for Silver Bluff as they turn around and go the other way.
And just got an update from Eric Russell on the South Aiken North Augusta game. And one of the 2 outstanding quarterbacks in that game, this one for North Augusta, Landon Washington, a rushing touchdown to put North Augusta ahead 14-7, 8:50 left to play in the game.
That's a good one. Have to find that on the radio after the game. And Washington
Here's
gets
a big
loose,
one.
and this may be the long run that we've been waiting
You've
for.
been talking about.
At the 40, he's got one man to beat. He's right there on him, and he trips him at the 10-yard line. Good for him. That's number 24 for Calhoun County. Michael Brunson did not give up, kept with him and tripped him up at the 10 to deny him from scoring. And it's been very easy for him to just say, oh, well, too bad.
That was a terrific run by Washington, and we talked about it. When he gets loose, he's a threat to go coast to coast every time. That's a terrific defensive play. The kid did not give up.
And run up the middle, and he's going to scoot to the end zone. Touchdown, Silver Bluff. It's now 40-0. And 6:25 left to go in the ball game.
And I like it. They give it to Raekwon Mann, so they spread the joy around a little bit. Mann scores on a touchdown, makes it 40-0. So now we've had Washington score, McFarland score a couple. Okay, Wooten score one, Green score one, Mann scores one. A lot of kids will have a nice night tonight.
And as they have for most of the night, they'll go for the 2-point conversion. They tried one kick. That didn't go too well. And Calhoun County gonna, well, no, he got in. So the 2-point conversion is good. 42-0. Silver Bluff over Calhoun County with 6:25 left to go in the ball game.
And that was McFarland on the extra point. Raekwon Mann on the touchdown, 3-yard run. And we now have 42-0.
In another game of interest, raise your hand if you thought in the third quarter the score would be Syracuse 24, Clemson 24.
Well, I like that score better than it was last time you gave us an update there.
That's pretty amazing.
You know, Syracuse played them very well last year, if you remember. They had a good ball game and could have won that ball game.
All right, another kickoff. Skips up, picks it up pretty quick, and brings it out over the 35 to the 37-yard line. And Calhoun County will try their luck on offense again. I'm amazed that they actually stopped the clock at this point.
And now it's running. And it should be.
This would be, if I was an official, the no penalty zone. They looked for the pass, but decided to keep it. Lost the yards, 2nd down and 11.
I think they're starting to get some new people in there on the defense. Newton on the tackle that time, along with Bush. Oh.
Starting to feel bad for Evans. Evans come through and not getting a whole lot of help from his blockers.
Well, they have not been able to handle the Silver Bluff defense all night long. Silver Bluff been too aggressive, too quick. Lots of penetration.
3rd down and 13. Yeah, there's a block. Gonna run, he fumbles the ball.
This could be another. We got to get the penalty.
Flag. It's one of those. I don't know if y'all watch Scott Van Pelt on ESPN. He has the. Oh no. I think Evans.
And what did Scott do?
You got an injured player.
Not sure what the penalty is. Referee has his back to us. Scott Van Pelt, he has a segment called "Oh No," and that would be a "Oh No." Not sure. Did he call a roughing play again?
I don't know. That was after the ball was fumbled. I'm not sure what he's calling this time.
They sent Silver Bluff to the bench. He's got an injured player on the field. I believe I think it's the quarterback, Evans. Well, my phone just died. What did Eric just update us with?
All right, let me get an update here for us while we're looking at this. Strom Thurmond putting up a fight against Gilbert, tied 21-all.
Good for Strom Thurmond.
Yeah. Gilbert came in as a pretty substantial favorite in that game. They came in undefeated, and Strom has lost 3 already.
I listened to that game on the way home last week on the KSX radio broadcast, and that was an exciting finish. I felt for Strom Thurmond. They had 4th and 20 yards and threw a Hail Mary and gained 60 yards to get out of the hole. And they went down the field, scored a touchdown, kicked an extra point to put it in overtime, and they roughed the kicker. They went half the distance to the goal and came back out Swansea and went for 2 and got it. And there was only 16 seconds left or something to that effect. That was quite an ending.
And the injured player is the one that we don't have a name for, number 2. Okay, who has been a tough kid also. He's done some good things there. He was playing quarterback in that last series and also has been a running back, and he's been an important part of the Saint team tonight. Looks like he did some damage to his leg.
We have no idea what the penalty was. Well, they're going for it, throwing it down the field. He's got his man. He's got it. What a catch. Run out of bounds at the 35-yard line. So it is a complete pass. And that just goes to show if you don't if you don't succeed, try again. And Calhoun County has thrown that many times way over the receiver's head. And that one was complete. So the 35-yard line. Clock runs, 3:40 left to go in the ball game. Oh, that pass. Nice pass.
It was.
Hit Big Gardner in between the numbers. He could not hold on. Actually, Evans seems to be getting better as the night goes on, at least with his passing and his accuracy.
And, Gardner could be a really nice target. He's a big young man out there. And they've got some speed. The pass that he completed just before that was to Willie Brown, and we've seen him return a kickoff for a nice return. Made a nice catch on that ball.
There's the handoff, throws it too high. Intended for number 25, Dominic Gladden. Be 3rd down and 10. And they do keep the clock running. 2:30 left to go in the ball game. Big rush.
Another nice catch.
That's a nice catch.
And once again, Willie Brown.
Now, Silver Bluff is just selling out, sending everybody on the blitz, and he's got enough time to make these passes. If they'd been doing this early, I think they could have settled Silver Bluff back from their all-out blitz package and had a little more success running the football. He looks for a lane to run through. And there had to be 4 or 5 people in the backfield, and then when he got through that, there was linebackers waiting for him. So they are giving him the room to pass for his receivers. Second down and 10. Oh, we had a man, and it's intercepted, playing center field out there. The safety was back behind everybody. I thought the receiver was wide open. He was just waiting for him back there in center field and made the catch.
And that's John Green making that interception. He also had a 25-yard touchdown pass completed to him tonight. So Green has been a factor both offensively and defensively.
So they continue to let the clock run, and we'll be done here shortly. We've got 1 minute and 5 seconds left to go. Silver Bluff will probably come out and just make it academic.
I think we'll see their victory formation, as you like to say.
I'm trying to get all the people out on the field. And they take a new quarterback out there. It's not exactly the victory formation, but it's going to have the same effect. I don't believe they'll have to run another play. Of course, if you got a new quarterback in there, you like for him to get some snaps. You never know when they'll need him. But they're not going to run another play. They're going to let the clock run out.
I think that's a smart decision.
And our final score here tonight, Silver Bluff victorious as they get ready for the toughest part of their schedule. The last 2 games, Barnwell and Batesburg, will be coming up the next 2 weeks. Batesburg will be first, Barnwell will be second. But now they go to 2-1 in their region as they beat Calhoun County, the Saints, 42-0. It's a happy night here in Bulldog land.
A very impressive win. It really was a win both offensively and defensively. I guess you would have to say that the defense was completely dominant tonight for Silver Bluff, and the offense had a lot of big plays, and was very effective, especially running the football, and they completed a couple passes late in the ball game. So that's a good win for Silver Bluff. Not an unexpected win. We expected them to win the ball game tonight, but you have to do it on the field, and they did tonight. The kids played very hard, played very well.
Teams shake hands. And I'm sure this was a long night. Leading the line for Calhoun was their quarterback, Evans, who has to be glad that this one's over. He got shellacked several times, but he actually showed some improvement in fourth quarter. He threw some nice passes.
Yeah, he did.
So he's got something to build on. They didn't score, but it's a good win nonetheless.
And the history over the last few years for Calhoun County is that they had a 3-year run where they were very, very good. They also had, back in 2013, they had an 0-10 season, and they followed that up with an 8-3 season. Then they were 11-1. All right, then they were 7-4, and right now they've fallen to 1-7. Okay, good news for Silver Bluff. Okay, this is their 5th win after only having 3 wins last year. Okay, they pick up another win tonight. They're 5-3 now. They've got 2 tough ones coming up. They got Batesburg and Barnwell, and they'll be quite a challenge for this team. I think they'll get Trotty back next week, however. That'll shore up their defense even more, and so they've got a chance to come up and keep the streak going a little bit.
And I think that was part of the deal of Trotty. Trotty probably could have played, but they were going to let him rest up. they knew that Calhoun County was a little short on men, and based on what they'd seen on film, they were going to have their way, and they did. So that'll be tough. They'll have Batesburg here next week. Wish we would be here next week. That'd be a good game to see a really good team in Batesburg. But instead, we're going to Barnwell to see another really good team.
That's
Barnwell,
right.
who beat Batesburg last week by 3 points at Batesburg, and they will be taking on Bamberg, who has always been a nemesis to Barnwell. So we look forward to being there next week. All right, our final score. They took it down. 42-0 was our final. We'll take a break and come back, and we'll see if Eric has the coach for us to talk to when we return on the Aiken Standard Game of the Week.
I've worked at our family's dealership for over 14 years, and I've watched how my dad treats his customers. I've seen them come back again and again because we treat them right. Now that I'm stepping up to be the general manager, I plan on carrying on that tradition. Because treating people right sets Satcher apart from the competition. We know you're going to shop around, but remember, at Satcher Ford, you're always going to pay the prices you're quoted. No dock fees, no surprises. That's the way Dad does it. That's how I'll continue to do it.
Come on in to Bargain Blount's Furniture, where we have sofas and love seats starting at only $396.
Check the rest.
Buy from the best.
Financing and layaway available. Bargain Blowout's Furniture and Mattress Superstore, next to the Aiken Hospital.
And I finally said, okay, well, if you want to see what Coach had to say after the game, pick up an Aiken Standard tomorrow morning.
There you go.
Which we will do. All right, we're back.
Don't forget.
Final score 42-0. Silver Bluff successful. They get a big win tonight. Go to 2-1 in the region, 5th win of the season, and they will host Batesburg next week.
And it is a good win for Silver Bluff. And the fans, I think, appreciated the way the kids played tonight, and they'll look forward to next week. And it would be quite something if Silver Bluff could pull off a win in each of the next 2 weeks. That would be something that was unexpected earlier in the season, to be quite honest with you. And they'll have their hands full. They're going to have a much tougher time of it with Batesburg and Barnwell. They're better teams than Calhoun. You got to take your hat off to Calhoun a little bit, though. The kids kept playing, and they're taking it on the chin this year. There's no question about that, and that's not a lot of fun.
Silver Bluff, 42-0 win. They struggled with some penalties tonight. They've got some things that they'll work on through this week. They'll need to play better in order to beat Batesburg, but I'm sure that gives Coach Abel something to talk about and get them ready. And speaking of Coach Abel, Eric is down on the sidelines, and he is with Coach Abel now, so we'll go down to Eric. Eric, take it away.
All right, I'm here with Coach Burton Abel after a blowout victory. You said you wanted to keep the momentum going, and how was that for keeping the momentum going for you?
Well, you know, we started off a little slow, and I promise you it was not a pep talk in the locker room at halftime. I just was very, very upset with our play. We came out really good, put 14 points on the board in the first quarter, and then we started imploding on ourselves. The defense played great. Defense played great. Again, second shutout. You know, hats off to Coach McGee and his staff over there on the defensive side, but offensively, we were just kind of hurting ourselves, and I wasn't real happy going into halftime. So I challenged the defense to keep a shutout and for the offense to right the ship and do what they're supposed to do.
Gotcha. And obviously, defense did come up big for you guys. Several two fumble recoveries for you guys and two interceptions. Kind of what was it like to see them perform like that?
Well, I mean, they've really been performing really well all year long. And in some of those earlier games that we lost, it was the offense that put them in bad situations and not the defense. And we knew that, and so we kept challenging the offense, and we're finally starting to get our groove and clicking offensively. Still got some things to fix. Still not real happy with it, and we're chasing perfection, and hopefully we'll catch excellence along the way somewhere.
Gotcha, and obviously put you 2-1 in the region. What's it like to be kind of over 500 in the region? Kind of going down the stretch?
We again we talked earlier in the week, and we just take it one game at a time. We knew that if we win this game, we got 4th place locked up. Next week, when we win that game, we got 3rd place locked up. And then after that, it gets a little crazy going into Barnwell. But, that's just our goal. One game at a time and focus on that. And that's what I told the guys out there. It was a great win. And told them I appreciate them stepping up to the challenges at halftime and keeping the goose egg on the scoreboard and playing like they could offensively. And that, enjoy the weekend, but come back ready Monday for Batesburg-Leesville.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, Coach.
Congratulations. Appreciate y'all coming out.
All right. Thank you, Eric. And thank you, Silver Bluff head coach Burton Abel, for meeting with us after the game. A big win, 42-0 over Calhoun County. Any final thoughts?
Well, I'll tell you what, for Silver Bluff, 47-0 last week. 42-0 this week. I'd say they have their team moving in the right direction. They're ready for the end of the season now to have these challenges come up. But if they're not ready now, they'll never be ready because they've had 2 really good games back-to-back.
Yeah, I think it's nice that they win 42-0, but I think there's a lot that they can work on, that they can go back and look at the films and get ready for Batesburg next week here at the Bluff.
Absolutely.
All right, that's going to do it for tonight. Next week we'll be at Barnwell, and Barnwell will play host to Bamberg, so we'll go up and visit the War Horses. But until then, for Ken Brace, for Eric Russell on the field, for James Dean, our director in the truck, I'm Ed Gerardo. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week from Barnwell. Good night, everybody.
In Aiken, we are football. Outstanding in the field, in the booth, in the newspaper, on the web, on the app, mobile, social, and very, very local. Aiken Standard is Football Friday.